Welcome in to session 52. Yes, we are going of Adventures in Aanthara, which means we've done a whole year's worth of sessions, even though it's been like a year and a half, I think.
Ish.
May?
Yeah, a little more than, almost exactly, a little more.
Yeah.
There's a break.
Indeed. Brief summary of what has happened recently. The Twilight Heralds struck out from Olleah after Eclipse's father, Hugo, was taken to find his captors, which they did, killed them mooey dead, took one of their heads, or did you take both their heads?
Both heads.
Took
We
both
took
their
both.
heads,
No head
interrogated
left
one.
behind.
Mm-hmm. And then made your way down out of the mountains to Hockholm, where you established some useful connections, including one that was able to teleport you back to Olleah. And so now, full circle, a few weeks later, you are back in the city, have smuggled more or less Hugo into the Foreign household, where the family is now joined by a guardian of some kind who you haven't really had much interaction with yet. And you've had some time to briefly catch up. Hugs were exchanged. And that is where we left off and pick up. So, what would you all like to do? Also, Remy is here, but Holly is not. So, let me get in my Remy state.
Could probably let Remy go do.
I'm gonna probably stumble upon the Arclight primer at some point
Mm-hmm.
and kind of hold it up at Nas and just like,
Not looking at her.
and I'll start thumbing through it.
Okay.
Um,
Go ahead.
I will need to unattune from an item, so I'm gonna pick for right now that Circlet of Counterspell.
Okay.
I'll leave it on, but I'll just unattune from it for right now, since we're gonna be just in town.
Okay.
And I just want to start reading through the primer.
Okay. You can easily, within the span of an hour or so, with everything going on here right now,
Wait,
attune to it if you want. Yes?
You have to attune to it, and then it's a long rest before you can actually use it.
okay. I was like, it's not showing up under one of my items available for attunement. But I think I have to unselect a different item. There it goes. Okay.
Yes, let's do pre-rolls. Thank you, Anneka. Pre-rolls! 2 and 2? 2-0.
Oh,
Net 20 and a 7.
15 and 9.
Okay.
4 and 12.
Pat?
1 and a 20.
Okay. The full
Spectrum.
spectrum?
1 and a 6.
Oh, not the full spectrum?
Excellent rolls today, guys.
Thank
We're killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Brian just killed someone with 2 failed death saves.
Oopsie poopsie.
Oopsie doopsie. I think I'll take Remy up on her offer to go talk about magic.
Okay. I would say after not too long of a time, she kind of, well, I'm probably gonna head back now, pretty soon here. Did you want to come and try out the? Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
Yeah. Try the what? What did we try
Oh.
now?
Well, you'll see. It's something
Excellent.
I put together.
Remy,
Uh-huh.
I think I'll go with for fun.
do you have any friends that are artisans of magic items?
Artisans? You mean like...
Enchanters.
Oh. Well, there's a lot of enchanters at the academy. I don't know how useful my friends would be, but if you're looking, are you looking for someone to like enchant something for you, like work?
I have an idea. I don't know if it's possible. Would you be able to point me in a direction, or could I use your name as a reference for
I
anyone
think-
specifically?
If you actually need work and don't just want to talk to someone about enchantment, because there's quite a few enchantment, wizards and sorcerers at school who could give you a lot of good information. But if you need actual help with something, there's someone with a lab and kind of a store of some kind. It's very close to the academy. It's called Ziggeldorf's Spell Tech and Enchantery. I think his name is Ziggeldorf. I've never actually been, but I have some friends who go there.
Okay. And you said, is that up on the top level, or is that...
No, it's down at the bottom. It's like to the west of the spire by not a long distance. You'll probably find it pretty quick.
Okay. Thank you. I have an idea. So we'll see what comes of that.
Cool. Anyone else want to come? Okay. Eclipse. All right.
Yeah.
3 of us. See you guys. Waves to everybody else.
Bye, Remy.
Pitter patter's off, and you two can follow. Faye, are you going to go try to find this place as well right now?
What time is it?
It is. Well, you don't have a watch, so unless you ask Yasnip, it's somewhere in the early afternoon.
Yeah, I'll head over there.
Probably mid-afternoon, actually, because
Yeah.
you guys have been sorting through books and stuff for a while. Okay. So you probably walk with them actually for a bit and then split off
Okay.
eventually. And Remy kind
Yeah.
of points you the direction when you get to that point. Eclipse and Yasnip currently. Naz, what are you two doing?
I'm going with
I-
that.
Eclipse is coming with us. It's Brightwing's behind.
Oh, Brightwing, thank you.
I have finished my things for the day at least. I am doing nothing.
Okay.
I am lounging.
Vibin.
I would like to start the process of this. I don't have the elements for it, but in terms of RP, I think Brightwing would start to try and figure it out. And I would like to try and refine, because you said you can do something very refined. I would like to start casting wards upon the house.
Interesting.
I need
With
stuff.
what?
Exactly. I need stuff, but in the terms of like Brightwing has never done this, and so she's gonna start to figure out how to do it.
Okay, this is a spell.
It's a spell, and
What spell?
it is called Glyph of Warding.
Okay.
When you cast a spell, you inscribe a glyph that later unleashes a magical effect. You inscribe it either on a surface or a section of the wall or within an object that can be closed, such as a book, scroll, etc. to conceal the glyph. The glyph can cover an area no larger than 10 feet in diameter. And the surface or object, if moved from that 10 feet where you cast, the glyph is broken and the spell ends without being triggered. I mainly just want to put a glyph on the front door, and I would like it to be a glyph that requires a password.
Ooh.
So no one can enter the house without knowing the password.
Okay. You can refine according to physical characteristics, creature kind, or alignment. You can also set conditions such as a password. Wow. Okay. And it
Now-
erupts in a sphere of magical energy.
So I would want, and it's you can either do an explosive rune, but I would
Mhm.
want to do a spell glyph and do grasping vine to entangle the person that's trying to enter the house that doesn't know the password.
Okay.
I might think of a different spell, but I don't
Okay.
have 200 worth of gold of diamond dust
Uh-huh. Yeah. And incense.
and incense per. We're gonna get money very soon.
Uh-huh.
So, but the flavor of like what Brightwing would be trying to figure this out to keep the glyphs up. And if like if I'm allowed, I would like to I don't know if you can keep up more than one. If it's just one.
There's no concentration on it.
Limitless.
And I don't see anything that says if you cast another one, the first one disappears or anything like that.
Okay. So I think she probably discuss with Hugo on what he think might be like the best like trigger if anything were to happen. Like what would be like something that could trigger safety? I don't know. And work
Okay.
with him and his wife on what would be the best one. And
Okay.
starting to figure this out.
One thing to note is if the spell requires concentration, it lasts until the end of its full duration,
Okay.
which something like Grasping Vine does require concentration.
Oh,
and
okay,
I think it's
good
a
to know.
minute.
Okay.
You don't have to maintain concentration for that time, which is cool, but it would be a minute.
Of when it
okay.
would it be triggered?
When
Or
it's
it
triggered,
only
it would last for the duration. So it's like Grasping Vine's a minute, so it would last for a minute.
For when the glyph
Yeah.
would be last for a minute, or
No,
No,
the
once the
effect
spell is
glyph
cast.
makes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Right. So the spell, the Grasping Vine lasts for a minute. And then, of course, someone can try to break out of it before then, but that's how long the
Yes.
spell lasts.
So
Okay.
I'll do a bit more research, but in the terms of
Okay.
what Brightwing's doing, this is what she's
Sure.
starting to do.
All right. And you're doing this in the house with everybody.
Mhm.
Okay. Briefly before we get to the others who have left, Nas, unless you go and squirrel yourself away somewhere, would you do that, or are you out in like the living room hanging about?
Well, I would say that if this is mid-afternoon, I'm probably still working because I was
Okay.
working on the project for a good
Yeah.
4-6 hours or whatever.
Okay. Sure.
Towards the end of that, he'd probably come out into like the main living room area-ish
Okay.
and
Okay, we'll come back.
do his thing.
Okay. Alrighty. We will go start with Remy and the crew. So, Sam, you've been up into and out of and around the academy and the Cloud Spire several times because you know the city very well and have worked throughout it. So you are familiar with getting the little winged boots, flying up, or at least Sam is. In case you don't know, there's little. Have I described the Cloud Spire to you before? I think I have.
Nope.
Okay. Wow. So, in the center of Olleah, into and around of which is built the Arathis Academy of the Arcane, is this massive, tall, slim, unnaturally cylindrical man-made mountain, basically.
Now I
Very
remember.
sheer sides. Okay.
Yes, now I'm remembering.
Waterfalls coming off
Yes.
of it. Yeah. So, and a lot of the offices and classrooms and things, and even living quarters, are up many, many levels, and there's a winding stair around it. But most people take the winged boots that are sold in little, or rented in little trolleys and things. So you guys can acquire that, and you fly up with Remy to a little landing. Sees some students studying, and then she takes you through a couple corridors until eventually reaches an office that has the name Ramila Bellwhittle on it. Office hours. I want to say she said 1:49, but whatever Holly has said last session, her office hours are a.m.
Mm.
And she unlocks the door, steps in. Okay. So, as long as you're down for it, I have this sort of contraption of instrumentation. It's sort of scientific, sort of magical, and it evaluates and assesses your kind of your arcane aura in a way. They've done it. Well, she did it, pointing at. Wait, is it only you? Oh, it's only you. Okay, no, you did. You haven't done it.
Well, I
The
mean,
others have
I
done it.
can do it.
You could do it actually.
Could do
Things
it.
just don't look quite as. But yeah, it's not dangerous.
I mean,
You down?
I can do
Yeah.
it if you want to see what it looks like normally.
Sure.
And then,
I'll watch you do it first.
Okay. So she leads you up this small stairwell within the office to this like not attic, but what are those like
Like a
little...
loft.
Yes, thank you, a loft, like a little loft. And there is this series of contraptions and pieces of equipment, metal rods and things on this desk on one side, and then it's largely open on the other. And she beckons you behind this desk and points clips out towards the middle where you know that people will stand. And there's sort of this lens-like large piece of glass that's connected to a bunch of the other pieces of equipment. Okay, so, well, when you do it, you'll cast something, because then we can read off the magic. Oh! Eclipse, do you have items that can do things?
yeah.
If you-
Find it real
If you want to try that, that might show a little more.
Nobody gave. Well, I do have the rod. The portal rod.
Ooh.
So I guess I'll do that real quick.
Okay.
I'll click it.
Okay. So you pull it out and click it once?
Yeah, I'll point at like 2 spots on the ceiling where there's nothing, so it doesn't actually like cause an issue.
Okay. Okay. So you watch as Eclipse clicks one under the rod and poof, the amber portal flashes into existence out in your normal vision. And then on this round lens-like thing, it seems to almost become a screen of sorts. Not so much like a TV, we would imagine, but it's sort of like within the glass, you see this imagery. And you see what looks to be like a long, almost like a wormhole in through the glass that is silver with little bits of blue, and there's all these moving lines between them, kind of like in Harry Potter when they cast the 2 spells that hit each other, and there's like that interchange of magical whatever it is. You kind of see this back and forth. Well, first of all, that's a really cool item. I might have to study that a little bit before you leave, because that's sweet. But, you can see here, well, it has some sort of transporting ability, I would imagine, based off what we're looking at. Pretty powerful, and kind of new. You can tell by, well, it's hard to explain, but you can tell how old the magic in something is sort of by the way it's structured, because things change over time, and the way magic items are designed and all this kind of stuff. It's really complicated, but that's how it works.
It's
You ready
really
to try?
cool. Yeah?
Okay. Step out there. Oh, Clips, you might want to turn those off.
And then click them back. Get out of the way.
Okay.
Go find the little familiar
Mm-hmm.
that I know she has.
Yep.
A familiar.
Oh, you saw a little badger, yes, when you
Yeah.
came in.
Okay.
Curled up
Little
in
scritches.
what is essentially a dog bed.
Oh.
When you
Yeah. Little buddy.
and piles on your lap, just.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
So stand kind of right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then cast something. It helps if you do something that's, I guess you could call it like your bread and butter, something that's sort of central to who you are, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Oh, please don't blow up my office, preferably.
No. Mm-mm. Not gonna do that. I will, swing my hands around myself and cast Blur as my image begins to, like, kind of distort and shift with that static energy.
Okay. Okay. You watch Remy initially, as soon as it happens, you can't see from your side what she's seeing in that screen. So, or in that lens, it just looks like glass you're seeing through it to her. It kind of darkens a little bit when you do this, so you can't see her as well, but kind of goes more opaque. But she kind of like looks over at you, looks back at it, gets out a quill and ink, writes down several things, and then you see her like look back out again, kind of raise an eyebrow, cock her head, and then start adjusting some stuff. And like adjust another little piece of equipment, tighten something, swing something else down. Huh. That's kind of weird. Can you try another one? Just one, something else too? Just one more.
Yeah. I'll cast Mind Sliver into the air, not at a person.
Okay. Huh. Takes on a couple more notes. And then you see her reach over and like pull a small lever, and there's a flash in the lens, and then a small, what looks like piece of parchment slides out of a nearby container or cabinet. Okay, thanks. You're good. So that was a little weird.
That's not the first time I've heard that. What have you gathered?
Well, here, and she holds out the parchment. You see what looks like, kind of a like stamped imagery of what you imagine was showing in the lens. It doesn't look like a photograph. It doesn't look like a drawing. It's like somewhere in between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And it's colored, and you see what appears to be a absolutely chaotic web of lines. Purples, greens, blues that fade in and out of each other. Kind of looks a little bit like the Northern Lights in a way, but not those sheets of color. It's these kind of jagged lines that crisscross or arcing out, whereas it looks almost like the inside of a storm, and there's just all these pieces of lightning going off. So this doesn't really capture entirely because the movement and the motion of what it shows is kind of important. Yours was really active, constantly moving, lots of crackling and flashing. Some of them are much more structured and smooth. I would say this is some of the most chaotic Arca I've seen. I typically try to make comparisons to divine magics because that's kind of a baseline that a lot of people can understand. This really doesn't get very close to anything. I think the closest might be Lyra. I've known a few paladins of Lyra that have had somewhat similar chaotic Arca, but this is very, I don't know, it's very different. All of that, though, is kind of secondary to... There was just this sort of static over all of it. I thought that my machinery was malfunctioning for a little bit. That's why I was trying to adjust some things. But it just seemed kind of hazed out almost. It was hard to clarify, and none of my adjustments really helped. So I think it's something within the Arca. I don't really know. I can't really make too many comparisons to other things that I've seen. However, that does make it very interesting. I'd like to do some deeper studies on you at some point if you have time. It could be actually very helpful to my work.
Yeah, I'll be here for a couple days if you want to run more tests.
If I might ask, do you know where you get your magic, or you?
I don't know.
So not a cleric, not a paladin, not a wizard.
No, not some. I mean, I went to school at the academy. I sort of honed it, but How familiar are you with the Kalishtar people?
I think I've met one or two, but there's not very many in Olleah, or in Aanthara, or Kathos, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, that's what I am. And it's sort of, I don't know if that's a part of it. My family doesn't really cast magic, but mine has always been hyperactive in a way. Kind of messes with the abilities that Kalishtar's connection to each other have.
Oh, that's right. They have like some sort of innate telepathy or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that.
You have that.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, except it's
But
funky. Doesn't really work that well.
is that a general thing for Kalishtar?
Just me. It seems to be just me. Not. We've been to so many different people to try to figure it out, but no one has really understood it.
Did you struggle with the issues to your innate powers before you found your external magical powers?
I don't really remember. Actually, it's been so long. I've been sort of prone to outbursts, but I don't know if that's connected to magic in any way. But we knew I had a connection to Arca before I started school. That's why I got sent there.
And you didn't finish.
No, it was not for me.
Huh. Well, that's very curious at the very least. You see her take down a few more notes. Remind me, all of you, did you guys give Remy a summary of what had happened? Okay.
We didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, right, because we were on the walk over.
We were hustling.
I thought
We
we
didn't when we got to the house? Because I thought we were talking to...
There was like a 2-minute, this is the shit we're in, come with us, because Hugo's invisible. But
yeah,
that was
but
right.
when we got to the house, because she was with us.
We did
Didn't we-
exposition. You did.
Yeah.
I cast
Oh, yeah.
exposition.
9th level
Oh.
exposition.
Yeah.
Oh, was that
Okay.
to Remy or is
she
that
was-
to your
That was
mom?
Well, she was there.
She was there.
Okay, I guess
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
definitely
that's
could have
right.
heard all of it.
Okay, so you guys gave the summary.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think out of everybody, I wanted her to know about it. Because
Right.
while heavily stressing that it's a fucking secret.
Yeah. Well, I have some thoughts, but I think I'll need some time to put them together. Some of what you guys encountered and some of what I'm seeing here, points at your printout again, kind of seem a little bit to intertwine with what I've been studying to a degree. I don't know if anyone's told you, but I'm really interested in where magic comes from at its source, in a way. And there's a lot of schools of thought. Most people think that it largely was gifted by the gods and just kind of hung around since then and out on its own. I have some theories about more concentrated sources that exist. Different ones for different types and things. And it kind of seems like some of what you all have encountered might connect to that a little bit. So I might need to do some some study, maybe some math. Do you all, are you going to be here for a while?
Yeah, I'll be here
Okay.
for a few days.
I might have more questions.
Also, I'll pull out the Xeria seed. If it's
Okay.
anything similar to this, let me know.
Do you hand it to her?
I'll put it down on the desk.
Okay. She picks it up. And you say it's inert.
Until for the next how many days?
I think.
90.
Many,
Yeah.
Yeah.
roughly, is a season. Well, let me just try. And she kind of grabs a stool from one corner, drags it out into the area where you had been standing, and puts the seed on it. Comes back to her behind the desk. Adjusts a couple things, and then switches, like it pulls a sheet down almost over the lens, like when you have a light and you put the colored filters on it. And are you standing back there now?
Yeah, I'd be standing back and looking through.
You see at the same time as her a very, very light aura around the seed that you see through the lens. It doesn't even really extend outwards from it. It almost just hovers right around it. And it bears a resemblance very much to the figure that you fought when you got these seeds. That sort of starry, space-like, multicolored entity. Well, there's some similarity. It's hard to tell with it inert like this, though. If it reactivates at some point, you can bring it back. That would be amazing. I'm sure it could show quite a lot.
Yeah.
It seems very powerful, at the very least.
It was pretty cool while it lasted. I'll go pick it up and put it back in my bag.
Okay. What'd you say it does?
That one, it helped pack an extra punch for stuff. Lightning and thunder. It was like very stormy. It's very cool.
And you said you fought some creatures when you got these?
Do
Do you know
this
what?
one, it was like made out of light, almost very crystalline, very like space. It was like its own little galaxy.
Yeah, there could be some connections there. I'll have to think, but it's definitely a thread worth following. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if it helps much for you to have seen what your Arca looks like. Sometimes it doesn't really help, I guess, at all. But I think it's really interesting.
I mean, it would make a very cool piece of art just to like hang up on the wall.
Huh. You know, I never thought about that. That's actually not a bad idea. May takes a note really quick. And we will leave that group and go over to Megan. Faye. Roll a d20 for me.
It's a natural 20.
Okay. It does not take you long at all. You follow the line pointed to you by Remy before you guys split. before you find a very thin building kind of smushed between two other buildings, like a few stories tall, stone largely, but bits of metal accoutrement on the outside with a sign hanging down that says Ziggeldorf Spelltech and Enchantery.
Spelltech makes more sense than Spelltuck.
Nope, Spelltech.
Okay. Great. I'll just go in, I guess.
Okay. You go up to the door, attempt to pull the handle, and it seems to be locked. But there is a small, like, what looks like a pole bell, maybe, that's hanging by the door jamb.
I'm gonna ring it once to get a feel for how it rings. And then, can I hear it ring?
Mm-hmm. From inside, you... Oh, go ahead.
I wanna, using what I gather from the first ring, I wanna make, like, a musical tone from the poles with, and do like a couple things like da 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 da, da or something fun like that.
Okay. Roll a performance check.
Okay.
Because why the heck not?
Yeah. I'm sorry. 21.
Okay. You hear it echo through the inside of this place, and then about maybe 8 seconds later, you hear the sound of several and you see a little bit below where you were intending to look, maybe about 4 feet tall, a Verdun man, probably haven't seen many of, but a couple over time, looks pretty old, probably what we would understand to be mid-70s or so, TBD what he would be with his racial background. Light olive green skin, completely bald from what you can see, but what would be potentially seen in terms of hair is covered by this very steampunky top hat that's ornamented with all kinds of different bits and bobs, little tools, gears, and a pair of massive goggles that sits on the front lip with a sort of band that goes around. Brown leather vest over a white shirt that's rolled up to his elbows. All of the pockets and innards of this vest also littered with tools and gadgets and things. Striped pair of pants and boots. And he cracks the door open slightly.
Can I help you?
No, Matt, no.
Hello. My name is Faye. I presume you are the master of this establishment?
Black Ziggeldorf.
Black
My
Ziggeldorf.
friends call me Ziggy.
Ziggy, it is a pleasure to meet you. I have a bit of a proposition. I am seeking someone to bring an idea of mine to life, and I was wondering if you were up for a challenge.
A challenge?
A bit. It's something that doesn't exist, to my knowledge. If it does, I would be more than willing to be corrected, but...
Something magical.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, I'm open to a conversation. Come in.
Opens
Okay.
the door. And lets you in and then closes the door behind you. You see not really all that much in the way of items on shelves, though there are a few scattered shelves with a variety of very odd-looking contraptions, none of which you really recognize out the gate. And the general feel of it is kind of more sort of a smithy or a lab or workshop than a store, but there also is like a quasi-storefront to it. And there's a large desk, and then behind it a pair of double doors. You get the sense that much of the important part of this building is behind or below these doors. And he pops around the desk, hops up on a stool that's back there, and that's on wheels, and wheels it up to the desk.
Well, I'm open to hearing your pitch. Out of curiosity, are you in the market for anything?
You know, I am about to receive, hopefully, fingers crossed and knock on wood, quite a little paycheck. So there may be some friends of mine and myself who are in the market for some enchanted items. However, right now we are a bit, light in the pocket, as it
Strapped
were.
for cash.
A wee bit, but
He kind of gives you an up-down.
I don't look strapped for cash.
Yeah, I know. Also makes note of your rapier, which is somewhere in a sheath that we never think about.
You're the adventuring type, I imagine, based off
I've-
your garb.
I find myself in that life, yes. Quite by surprise.
Well, I'm curious. Well, first of all, we can discuss your idea, but I have quite a few contraptions I've come up with over the days and years, decades really, and I've been looking for someone to test some of them. Would you be open to such a proposition?
Perhaps as a trade of services.
Oh, a businesswoman, I see.
Yes, and on that note, before we begin any discussions, I will have to have you sign this non-disclosure agreement.
Okay. Do you have
Seeing
one written
as-
up?
I do.
Okay.
I probably keep one, just a flat rate one where I can input like
True.
stuff because she's just been pre-programmed into her.
Mhm.
Clark signed one before he left. It's okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. This is just confirmation that all intellectual property belongs to me, Felicity Rosewood, care of Rymex Incorporated.
You see his eyes get a little bigger, and then he pulls the goggles on. They get way bigger, completely fill up the lenses. Draws the paper over to him, looks it over, flips.
Well, quite professional.
I'm seeking a prototype.
I see.
If it works the way that I'd like, perhaps there could be a contract involving you, perhaps involving others, depending on the amount required and what you would be willing to undertake.
All right.
I see it going very large scale.
Really? And I assume that you'd be open to some sort of royalty agreement.
Of course, yes. But for right now, while we are still in a prototype discussion, I would like just to make sure that, again,
Of course, the intellectual
Protection.
property is
Yes.
yours, indeed. All right. Typically, I would prefer my own, but yours is quite good. I think I can agree to this.
Pulls out a quill and ink and signs his name in just the most garbage, messy signature you've ever seen.
So what is it?
We won't have it be pitched out loud because you want to keep it.
yeah,
But
I'll
you-
describe the item to him and kind of like the idea that I had. We can workshop aesthetics later if we need to. I just want to see if it can work.
Okay.
Well, at the very least, it's possible. How long it will take may require a bit of drawing out schematics, but I can't imagine would be too difficult. This should be quite doable.
Bit of arcane ability myself, although not any experience with enchanting. So if there's anything I could assist with, I don't know if I'd be a crutch or a tool, but
Will you be around for a while?
several days.
Well, the schematic portion will potentially take that amount. The creation will take a good bit longer, most likely.
I have a fair hand, and I can draw quite a bit, so I might be able to provide accurate sketches of things.
All right. All right, deal. let me get a few things in order. Would you be willing to come back tomorrow morning?
Of course.
7 a.m.?
9?
8?
Okay.
Better to get an early start, I always say.
I agree. I am an evening person, however, so my days usually start not then.
Have you ever had coffee?
Yes, once. A friend of mine swears by it.
I recently discovered it. A portrait from his stallion. It is quite good.
I can see that you enjoy.
Very helpful for doing work much longer than you otherwise would have.
Mm.
All right. 8 in the morning. I'll have some schematics in order and we can discuss designs further. Oh. So now, with this
You
out
mentioned
of the way,
testing products, perhaps,
Yes.
for you. Yes.
I'm not much of a going about type myself, and well, some of them involve potentially some danger, so I haven't been able to just find someone willing to take it on. But I have a few things.
All right.
Let's see. Pick a number between 1 and 3.
3.
Ah, that's an interesting choice.
Disappears, goes through the double doors. You wait for like 6 minutes, and you start to wonder if he's not going to come back. And then eventually, the doors open back up, and he comes waddling back in with what appears to be like a small box filled with largely a bunch of junk, but a series of vials or kind of beaker-like things, bottles, some glass thing with stoppers in them. Puts them up on the counter, and then reaches into a pocket, pulls out a large, what looks like scone that's half-eaten, puts it up on the counter.
I had to grab a bite.
Oh,
Coffee
I
makes
thought that
me
was
hungry.
one of the items. I was
No.
confused.
Well, my wife does bake them, and she has been wanting to sell them.
I could do 7 if you have scones available for breakfast.
Deal!
Hmm.
All right, so...
Pulls out this sort of tube stand with these things, and you see what appears to be a kind of maybe 4-inch by 2-inch diameter vial, and several of them, fitted with what looks like a unique cap of some kind that's threaded and appears to have a couple pieces of like lever or activator attached to it in some way. It's hard to tell exactly what it is, but it's not just a plain cork.
So, I call these quick vials. At least that's the operating name. Trademark, by the way. That's the NDA's 2-way.
Understood, of course.
So, I assume if you're
He points down at your rapier.
getting into scuffles now and then, you have to deal with healing potions.
Mhm.
Well, this
He pulls one out, unscrews the cap, and you see like this intricate bit of tech built into it. Seems to have a couple levers and like this needle that goes down inside.
Hmm.
what this does, if it works, I haven't been willing to try it on myself because I'm not quite sure. If you fill the vial with a potion, particularly a healing potion, I don't really know what it would do to others,
Hmm.
and then you use this,
And he gestures towards his arm. Doesn't
An
actually
EpiPen.
doesn't actually stab it into himself.
it sort of funnels the strength of the potion in a much quicker method, if that makes sense.
Directly into the bloodstream as opposed to having to work its way through your digestive tract.
I think it would be more potent and quite popular if it works.
Does it leave a bruise? You haven't tried it.
No, but
He shows you the needle. It looks pretty large.
I am more than willing to test this. However, I would need at least a basic potion with which to fill it in order to test it properly. As I said, we are fairly strapped for cash, so if that would be something that you would be able to provide.
Roll a persuasion check. With
I am
advantage.
negotiating.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. 25.
Oh my heavens. Why do I even ask?
I do one thing,
I
okay?
think I have one from initial testing, possibly left over. Give me a minute.
Scuttles away through the double doors, come back a couple minutes later with a potion. Sets it up on the counter.
Deal.
Excellent.
I want full notes.
Mm-hmm.
How it works, if it works. Any side effects. If it makes you feel better or worse. Strong comparisons to the regular imbibing methods, if possible.
I'm taking notes on what his requests for notes are.
Okay.
I kind of like. I like your vibe.
Reaches down under his large desk, opens a cabinet, pulls a drawer out of the cabinet, and picks something up and sets it up on the counter.
I think maybe you could try this out as well. But
Oh.
this one is a loner, and I'm gonna say it's 5,000 gold if you lose it.
All right. I assumed this was a loner as well, although I don't know if they're reusable.
Well, no, they're not. It's one-time use, but they're not. They shouldn't be that expensive to produce if I get things all the ducks in a row, as it were. This is going to be much more expensive.
And what he puts down is, you see, what looks to be a decent-sized gauntlet made largely of leather, a seemingly light metal like aluminum or titanium, and some sections closed off and filled up with what appears to be kind of what we would understand to be carbon fiber. You don't really recognize what it is.
So, if you are accosted by someone with magical abilities, this has the ability to absorb some of that power and then later direct it outwards in a violent way. I call it the Respeller Gauntlet for now. Trademark.
Workshop your names.
If you have ideas, I'm willing to hear them.
I feel like I'd like to get a feel for how it works first, but
Well,
And he explains it.
what is
in
the time
more
limit
detail.
on? Yeah.
I won't give you the full rundown in his explanation, but it has 3 charges, and it can store. When you use a charge, it stores the magical force. You can store 1 at a time. Otherwise, if you do it again, it's expended. If you use a charge as a reaction, when the wearer takes damage from a spell, you roll 2d12 and reduce the damage by that amount, and note that amount. And then on a future turn, or any time until a long rest, you can use an action to fire that absorbed arcana as a ranged weapon attack that deals the same amount of damage as whatever you rolled in those 2d12 as force damage.
As force damage. Okay. You know, this could
And
have come in handy a few weeks ago.
It absorbs the damage it absorbs is taken off of the total you suffer. Okay, so
The 2d12.
Yeah.
Great.
You battling some mages in recent weeks?
Let's consider that part of the NDA.
Fair enough. Well, there is more, but I think this is enough for now.
I think this is an excellent start.
Preferably, if I can get a report on this within, let's call it 2 weeks, at most. I have timelines set by
Of
myself.
course. I have friends who are likely to be bored in the near future who I'm sure would be tickled at the opportunity to attempt to damage me. So,
All right. Yeah, take 2 of these, by the way.
Gives you 2 of the quick files. And the 1 potion.
yes.
All right.
All right.
Well, I was not expecting such a fruitful business dealing to come about at 3:41 on a Monday?
No, it's a Monday.
But I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Ziggy. I think this is the beginning of a fruitful relationship.
I agree.
Hmm.
Thank you, Miss Rosewood. I will see you in the morning with scones.
With scones. And I'll leave.
All right. Okay. Brian, Naz, Yasmin, whoever you are right now, as the afternoon progresses and you eventually do end up back out in the living room, Avira, the spell sword guardian that showed up in the house, or showed up with Inspector Kovac and has since joined you guys all in the house, finds a moment to catch your attention. I am wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Well, that's one.
This is a fair point. Your group and Mr. Benoît, you have been through quite a lot from what I have heard.
I think that goes for most.
It goes for some. It sounds like in a very small window of time you have been through quite a bit more than others. But regardless, I am curious what you expect to potentially be the dangers moving forward. You have dealt with a couple of the most potent ones, but I need to know my adversaries, as it were.
Well, think of anybody that you could hire. If anybody, that's who they'd send. Possibly more like you.
Indeed. And these people that you fought in the mountains, they were powerful enough to bring you all to the brink together, yes?
I didn't see quite a bit of it. I may not be the best person to ask on that.
Who would be?
His daughter.
Fair enough. And if I don't overstep, you seem to have a magic capability to you, as well as potentially some martial skill, from what I can assess. What is your background?
I just like to wing it. fly by the seat of my pants, if you will.
Roll. What is this?
It's not
Are
a
you-
lie.
Bullshit.
Are
you-
you-
Roll a sus
It's-
check.
Yeah, it's not a lie, but it is a sus.
It is a
I'm gonna
sus.
say roll. I'm gonna say roll a deception check because it's a sus
Right.
check.
Yeah. That's fine.
Oh gosh, where is the?
It's more than fine. 22.
Oh. Okay, that was close. All right, fair enough. A rather odd bunch to have accomplished what you have. Not an insult at all, just curious.
Sometimes just picking up something random and finding a new thing to do with it is all you need. Resourcefulness goes a long way.
She kind of gives like a "you do you, bro" nod. I prefer to be a bit more calculated and planned, but I see the value in spontaneity. Keeps your enemies on your toes. Well, thank you. I will learn what I can from everyone before you all move on. Nods, kind of backs off. Eventually, everybody makes their way back. Unless Sam and Eclipse, there's anything else you wanted to do with Remy.
Is there a new comic book?
Yes, we will say there is a new issue. Which you can read through in the time that Sam and Remy are talking.
Go. Give all the scritches to the Badger Buddy.
Yes. Alright. Then you guys make your way back. Okay. Everybody reconvenes. Four House. Is there anything anybody wants to do?
I say before they even get there, they open the door and they just see Brightwing like on the ground, examining it.
Probably almost trip on her. Just like, what?
Oh, for the glyph.
What are you doing?
Sorry. I was trying to measure. Doing something I've never done before. Trying to put protection on the house.
I mean, I'm all for it. Just, careful. Kind of
I don't have the materials yet. But hopefully with the, how you say,
The payment?
cash out, we get to Frambrilis. Yes?
The reward.
Reward. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to put wards on your house to protect any intruders from entering.
I mean, I'm all for it. I was just kind of.
I promise I will not damage your door. I don't know if I can promise that, because if it goes off, there could be damage.
You hear and then see Celeste poking
Yeah, I
her
was
head
gonna
around the
say.
corner from the kitchen.
I think the life of Hugo is worth more than a door.
I would agree. If that's the best method of protection, I would be willing to sacrifice the door. As a last resort, of course.
What if we got a better door after?
Also a valid proposition. Do we need to be worried about stepping on that ourselves, Brightman?
Yes, but I will design it in a way that if you simply say a word of entrance, you can cross the threshold with no worry. Trigger.
So we'll need a password.
Yes. Just don't forget to say it, because it will go off.
We'll make that habit. We'll make that happen. Don't worry.
Perhaps if you come up with it soon, we can get in the practice.
Perhaps select a password now before you have the
Yes, that'd be
materials in
great.
hand and everyone can practice
Mhm.
from this point forward.
What should the word be?
Has to be something inconspicuous, just in case you're like being followed.
Inconspicuous? Or is that too on the nose?
Can it be an easier word for me to say that? That is easy for me.
How about the Iron Suns?
How
can
about
say what-
I'm home.
That one works too. I'm home.
With lovely flowers, because of all the flowers that are right next to the door.
You know what the funny thing is? That is what kind of wanted to be surprised.
I fear with all of the work that Brightwing has done here, these are genuinely lovely flowers. I think any stranger could perhaps utter
Yeah.
that phrase and mean it genuinely.
What terrible flowers then? Because nobody's gonna say that.
It has to be something that coming up you just wouldn't say. Like that is a brown door.
Goodbye.
They're green flowers. But you could
Bye.
be saying goodbye as you cross. Oh, you need something for entering and exiting.
How,
or
how
it's the
about
same.
knock, knock, knock?
Knock, knock, knock.
Usually people only say two. If you had a third one on there.
You just have to make sure you say it on the way out.
Mhm.
What if you overlapped it a little bit on the inside so that the folks inside could say it before they actually exit the home?
I was going to do it on
On
Oh.
both. Oh, on the door gem itself. Okay. So
On
you'd
the
have to
threshold.
stop on the threshold
It
and
didn't
say
cross it.
this. Hmm.
And if we get enough money from Rylas, I could also do the back another entrance. I think there was a patio.
I don't remember it having that. There might have
I
been like
don't
a
remember.
garden in the back, but I don't
There
think
is
there's
a garden in the back.
I don't know if there's a door going out to it though. I think it's just the front door.
Yeah, no, there's a back door to the garden.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
Is it like one of those cheap sliders where you have to put the pole in the door?
This is the pole in the door.
Oh no.
Brian, I got the nacho burger. Continue, sorry.
Hey yo.
2!
Shit. Yeah, I
Are we
don't.
going with knock, knock, knock? Should it be 4 knocks? Because that would be like wild for
Nah,
someone
3
to-
always throws people off. It's either 2 or 4.
There's people that have a stigma when it comes to odd numbers.
They don't like it.
I disagree.
Knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock.
knock.
I don't see a problem with it. Again, I do worry it's something people will normally
I-
say, but
Fear also something. I guess it doesn't matter, and you would know best, Brightwing. The idea of a passphrase should be something that is able to be uttered quickly and under your breath, so that it could not be overheard. Right? Well, I guess if Hugo is home, and I mean, I assume his sphere would encompass most of this home, radius, so that they wouldn't be scryed upon. I just would hate for someone. I don't know. I'm just paranoid.
I believe it is just a password, and I can do a deeper enchantment or to make it very, very conditional of why it triggers. It takes someone I don't know. How long does it take you to open the door?
I will go open the door.
Okay.
Roll for initiative.
Roll a dex
Dexterity
save.
saving throw.
A
How many
few
rounds does it take to
seconds.
get through the door?
3 seconds. It's
I
currently
can, like, in the context of it, I can make it very specific of how it triggers, basically.
Mhm.
So
Well,
if
that's
we want to
not-
say, for the time, like, the door opens,
Does it need to be one word? Or can it be a phrase? Does it matter?
I really think a phrase would make more sense because then you can't accidentally get a single word wrapped into it.
Well, I was thinking of even a word in another language that would be uncommon, like Oviante, that creature we encountered. A copycat.
you could say Hawati, which is hello in my language.
Hawati, yeah. Oh, that's excellent. Oh my gosh, something in your own language.
How do you say sun? Like the sun? Or the moon?
Yeah,
Ah.
Brightwing. How do you
Yeah.
say sun?
Yeah, Brightwing. Sun.
Research,
moon.
Brightwing! Remember!
Stars.
Well, part of me is like, we could make it moon themed, but that seems too obvious. Like, if we picked
like the
something that's the
opposite.
sun, yeah, I feel like that would be a little harder to guess.
Yeah, or something completely different, like earth or water or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it would have to be easy enough for them to remember and
Mhm.
say, is the thing. But I'm all for that. That makes sense. Because no one else is really gonna guess that coming in the door.
Plus, if it's sun, it's ironic, so it's still the Iron Suns.
That's what I'm saying. It could be
Iron Suns! Oh no! The ironic sun!
Aeron Suns. It's the best. If you look at it typed out too close together.
Mm-hmm.
Sore. Sorry, Sol. Sore.
Sorry?
Sore.
What if I can't roll my R's? Will it not work?
Rrrr.
Faye, for what it's worth, can definitely roll her R's,
She
even if Megan
can.
can't.
Sort of. It's kind of. Sorry with an accent.
Sore.
Sol. Re.
Sore. Oh, with the L.
Sore.
Okay.
Sore.
Sore.
Soul Ray.
I think that's manageable.
I think a single word is easier to remember, perhaps. And I fear knock 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 is cute and unique, but it is the same word thrice, as opposed
Yeah.
to 3 different words, which is more likely to be accidentally said. Because someone could just stand outside going knock 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 knock, and on the third one it would just open up.
Yeah. I think Solar Ray works.
Hmm. Does anyone want to hurt me?
Why?
I'm sorry.
Have I wronged any of you in any way?
No, of course not.
Did somebody yell at you outside? Like, what the hell happened?
Worked out a deal with a very unique artifabrian of sorts who is doing a little bit of schematic research for me in regards to an item that I have in mind, and I've agreed to be a test dummy for a few of the magic items that he has been too fearful to test for himself. So, I'm giving you, any of you, Eclipse, someone with magical abilities,
Oh, cool.
a free pass to attempt to injure me with some kind of magic. And I want to see if this item works.
Are you sure?
Well, that's the thing. He also gave me an item to test a healing potion application method. So, it's...
I mean, do you
Do you need something
Ye-
that would actually do damage or just a little damage?
I'll explain what the items are.
Okay.
want me to do that? I mean, you can do that at me. That's
Yes, Oh. Okay.
wouldn't that make more sense
Yeah.
at that point?
Well, that's fine. I'm not, Oh, that's squishy.
Well, it's more of the potency of your own ability. So
That's
you would
valid.
know if it's actually going to work or not.
That's true.
Same with anyone else.
I would just need you to tell me how the item feels in your best ability. I've agreed to give a full report on its effectiveness. There's a chance it doesn't work at all. It could be a total piece of shit.
You notice a familiarity to what you're saying, and she's registering it very well. Almost like she's done this before.
Okay, yeah. The light
Yep.
bulb goes off as like a little pink silhouette just appears in the
Yep.
background of Faye's mind. Well, I'll give her the gauntlet and I'll kind of pull it out. You may really like this. However, there's a collateral of 5,000 gold against it if
Oh,
we
I'm
walk
not
away with it, so
I
we
am
will not
keeping
keep this. Yes. I don't know if it's something that you have to sit with for a little while in order for it to work. So you might want to put it on and see if that. I haven't tried it out yet.
Does it feel like that is the case?
No, I would say, Faye, that you would have, in the conversation, learned that it does not need to be attuned.
Okay. So,
Perhaps out back in the garden?
yeah. That sounds
Or, I don't know. I don't want to.
Just so long as it's not going to explode by...
I have
Well,
plenty of
We'll go
options.
further. We'll go further out.
Yeah.
We'll go ways. It's okay. We'll
If anything
Yeah.
does, I can help fix it back up.
yeah, we'll get some distance.
Hmm.
I don't want to draw too much attention.
I think as you guys are kind of laying out the latter half of that plan, you see a figure step up off the wall. If you are not planning to go too far, and I can stay within range here, I would be curious to see how this works, and
Okay.
could potentially help as well if you need it.
Sure.
Wiggles her fingers.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, you guys want to go outside and test the Respeller Gauntlet?
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Who's putting it on?
I'm putting it on. I'm guessing because it's not attunement. Does it fit?
Yes, it's still a magic item, so
Okay.
it
So it'll
and
still
it's,
adjust.
it's not like a heavy steel full armor gauntlet like you would
Yeah.
imagine where it really would matter. It's kind of more like connected flexible bits with like
Oh,
a
cool.
core that captures the arcana. And so
Okay,
it
okay.
kind of like it has tightening straps and stuff, and so you're able to put it on and make it fit pretty decently well. So you're putting it on?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so there's the backyard is pretty decent size, not massive, but there's a Celeste garden area, and then there's kind of a more general lawn area that potentially could be a little safer, unless you're trying to go outside of the property entirely.
No, we can be near enough so that way.
Okay. Okay, what are you guys doing?
There's a white picket fence right next to where they're doing this.
Yes, that is
Thank you.
100% accurate.
Yes.
There is no risk of the fence receiving damage. If that is your concern. All right. I'm going to.
You do
When you're
notice there's
ready.
ghosts in the fence.
It's still daytime, right?
Yes, it is. I would say it's getting closer to dusk by now, but it's still daytime. Late afternoon.
Okay.
It is 5:02.
We just
Okay.
need an aggressive sticker of Yasnip going.
Yep.
Mm. And then,
Blown up in his face.
from what I understand, it is a damage dealing spell. The type of damage does not matter. Correct.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Any spell damage?
Mhm.
Hot diggity damn.
Is it just attacks or saving throws as well?
It is
Only one
anytime you
way
take damage from a
Find
spell.
out.
Just any. Okay. Sweet.
Boom.
So if it was a fireball, it would work. If it was an Eldritch Blast, it would work.
Who uses that?
Man,
Yeah.
imagine. Who does that?
Great. I'm going to You feel good?
Happy right now.
Feel ready?
Yep.
Okay, great. I'm gonna scream bloody murder and cast discordance at her at third level.
Shit! Okay, it's a saving throw, right?
It is well, yeah, it's a con save.
Okay, make
I
a
willingly
con save.
fail.
You'll probably make this.
Okay. You can
No.
willingly fail if you want.
That is
Okay.
the point. So
So
Okay,
you
okay.
you knowing a bit of what Faye does, kind of open your mind to this, let it hit, and it hits like a
Yeah.
truck.
you
Faye,
probably catch her
since-
off guard is why.
Since this is Eclipse, why don't you describe what she experiences?
Oh, buddy. It's like being buffeted by the wind, almost, but contained to your mind. So you're not only taking physical damage because the force of the scream knocks you back, but it is also like that feeling when the wind catches you in your ear and it gets very cold and it hurts and you get almost a brain freeze from it. It's that simultaneously.
Okay. You feel that. In that moment, you feel, and I will say, if you plan to use this, I would say you would put it on your right hand, your
Yeah.
spear hand, because it would be weird bumping up against your shield on your left.
Oh,
Well, Eclipse is right-handed.
I
right?
misread.
It's
I'm
right-handed.
I'm casting this at second level, not third level. I didn't realize how. I forgot what the damage breakdown on this was.
It's very
Okay.
large.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
large.
Yeah.
As you feel this in your mind, you feel this slight buzz in your wrist, and there's like this small piece that's connected to where your thumb is. You know you can, or that Faye described, you can like essentially use your reaction to activate.
Okay.
So you do
so
that.
yeah.
Okay, so you roll 2d12, and Faye, you roll your damage.
I rolled 2d12? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled 17.
So 3 and a 12.
15. Okay.
God damn.
So you take 2 damage. I think it's psychic, or is it mixed?
It's mixed, so you probably take a point of psychic and a point of thunder
Okay.
if you wanted to break it out in any way.
And as the pain recedes from your head, which takes a few seconds, because holy shit, there is a slight glow in that node on the gauntlet, and you feel it like vibrating slightly.
Now hit me with it.
I guess I'll just kind of shoot my hand out.
Iron
Okay,
Man.
roll an
Yeah.
attack. Yes, it's very Iron Man. Roll an attack.
Is it just an attack roll?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because it's ranged attack.
Yeah. You would use your dex, not your strength. So. Dex
Oh,
plus-
okay.
Yeah.
And it's not a proficiency because I'm not doing anything.
You are
It's very low.
uh,
That's what I'm trying to say.
proficient in all martial weapons, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Martial
I will
and
say you.
simple.
I will say you can add your proficiency bonus to this. It's more or less like using a light crossbow in this sense.
It's 9.
9 total.
Yeah.
Could I try to-
Very high.
Jump in front of it.
Okay, sure. Roll a dexterity check just for fun.
A check.
It's
a
not a
tumble.
save because you're not trying to
Dexterity
dodge something.
failing throw.
16.
Yeah,
There it is, yeah.
Dexterity failing throw. 16.
Jesus.
Okay.
That is my armor
Eclipse-
class.
Eclipse lines it up, and there's a bit of shake
Yeah,
to it.
I'm
'cause
probably
she hasn't
still
used it
recoiling
yet.
from the
Yeah,
migraine.
and you see it going slightly off, and you just adjust slightly, catch it in your shoulder, and then what fires out is this, like, ball/beam of crackling energy that slams into you, and you take 15 force damage.
Jesus. Holy.
So I'll like
Take out
spin back and like
force
grab my
damage?
shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
And then pull out my journal and just say, for science. And start writing it out.
Yep.
Start writing out. How did it feel to catch the energy? Did you still feel that? Like, and
I'll-
just start
yeah,
asking,
I'll-
like,
I'll sit next to her and describe it as I would with Remy, where it's very detailed, very specific.
In the words of Adam Savage, the difference between science and messing around is writing it down.
Facts.
Then I will get out the.
I was gonna say now you use the EpiPen because
I'm making the quick file. After we finish documenting this information, I'll get out the quick file,
Okay.
and pour the given potion of healing into it. And I'm gonna look for like probably my thigh, like the part of my body that has any significant chunk.
Of which there are not many on Fae.
Not
but
many.
Yes.
Yes. This is pot 2.
okay.
Cheers. Just like, so I'm holding a potion that has like a little needle coming out the top, and just like flip it upside down,
Nah.
and just pushing.
Where
Incidentally,
the hell did you get these?
for the record, there is not a needle pointing out. It's like within the cap, and when you slam it, there's an actuator that punctures
Wow, that's
Yeah.
EpiPen.
it. Yeah.
That's an
Yeah.
EpiPen.
That's an EpiPen.
This is a scientist, Leah. What did you
So-
expect?
So I guess in the real question, is there a way to see the skin that you have stabbed into? Because then you can check if it bruises or anything like that after.
Yeah, you're doing this on open skin.
Did he
Yeah.
give you?
Or
did
you
he
just
give
gonna
you
check
a
I'll
EpiPen?
pull my pants down
I mean, I'm just
Okay.
saying.
and
Whatever.
slam it into my thigh. I'm probably have
No,
For
like,
you can
science, damn it! I
For
have to
science.
know.
Well, for
You
everyone
have a
wanna
G-string
know.
on.
Go
It's
through it.
fine.
I don't fucking care.
Okay.
we've seen
You slam it in
more.
True.
Yeah.
You slammed it in your
Did
thigh.
it
Okay.
did it come with a trainer? Like he give you a gray
little
one?
pamphlet.
and then a really
No, it's just
colorful
pure
one?
Oh,
do.
no.
Only do.
Um,
This is the
okay.
trainer.
So, you immediately heal. That takes a bonus action, and you immediately
Oh.
heal the full amount of the healing potion.
Jesus.
8
So it is.
or 2d4.
plus 2. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
2d4
so 10.
plus 2.
So 10.
10.
Yeah.
You just heal 10.
So
Sure.
what it essentially does
Freaking
is,
jetpack.
with our rules, you can take a bonus action and have to roll, or an action and get the full. With a quick vial, you can take the bonus action to get the full, if you've set it up in advance.
5 stars. 10 out of
Also,
10.
I need you to roll a D100.
Oh, fucking fuck.
Oh, shit.
And then you blip out of existence.
I
I wanted
addicted.
I want it to go bad. Please, dice gods, let it go bad. That is
Please be
a
high.
You turn into a
4.
houseplant.
You bleed out.
You
A
turn into
4.
4.
Oh.
0, 0, 4.
You hit an artery and you're dead.
the adrenaline kicks in. It's over.
Oh boy.
You are now a Bioshock character. You've discovered
So-
Adam.
I lose
It-
my leg.
Revive these assassins to die from an infection.
Gangrene
I
is
have
a
a great wing for
motherfucker.
that.
You don't feel it all at once, but immediately you feel like this rush through your body that you imagine is the potion taking effect. It feels like what you feel when you take a healing potion typically, but it like exacerbated. And then as that fades, you sort of feel a bit of like chills,
Oh shit.
and like a bit of a tingle in your skin.
The needle wasn't clean. No.
You, for the next 24 hours, are going to suffer from intense flu-like symptoms.
Oh, the
Oh,
needle
no.
wasn't
Includes
clean.
Fevers
Fuck
and the
off.
spins.
Oh,
It is not great.
oh
And this
no.
will slowly ramp up onto you. It doesn't like immediately affect, but over the next probably half hour to an hour, you start to feel this ramp up.
So my
And then
notes will like
You're
be
gonna
like
feel back for the next 24 hours.
excellent, like seamless application, blah blah blah, and then eventually they'll be like, I still got fatty, and then there's like a little stain in the corner.
Yep.
So
Okay.
That's a problem.
After watching these shenanigans, before you start to feel really bad, because that comes in a bit, Avira, sort of standing against a fence post on the side, arms crossed. Don't suppose, looking mainly at you, Eclipse, you would mind a quick spar just to see what you are all capable of.
Well, like everybody.
Insight check before I go loopy and crazy.
Okay, roll an insight check.
Yeah, that's like why?
I don't think they believe us. Which I don't doubt that.
14.
14. Okay. I think you've insight check, or someone has insight checked this person before, and they're very stoic. It is difficult to read off of them exactly what they're getting at here. And you weren't around for the conversation she had with Nas. Best you can tell, she seems interested in evaluating you all. For what reasons, you're not sure.
What's her name?
Avira. Avira. Your friend told me some of what you dealt with, and I heard the full story. I'm interested to know what you all have can accomplish, and perhaps it will give me a bit of insight on what to expect.
I mean, did you want with all of us? Or
Whoever wants to participate. I don't know if I could take all of you, but
yeah, that'd be a lot.
perhaps a couple.
We've got an eclipse. I feel great.
Oh,
Does it look like the where she's stabbed? Does it look infected at all?
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
You see a puncture hole and there's a slight drip of blood, but you don't see much right now.
Okay. I don't know about that one. It looks like it worked. I noticed, I guess, the blast didn't really do a lot, but I'm guessing it looks like it healed and looks like she's fine otherwise,
Yeah.
besides the
She looks, yeah, okay.
massive
For
attack
now.
that's about to happen.
Tinge is more pale, which is saying something for Faye.
I think you might need to sit down for a little bit.
Grab a little band-aid from my pack and just stick it over.
Okay.
Band-aid.
Sit next to Brightwing and just put my
It
head
has
on her shoulder.
a picture of a small cartoon character.
Yeah,
like
the little dogs on it.
Are they weenie dogs?
They're
You
little
want
weenie
Paw Patrol?
dogs.
You want PJ Masks?
Yes!
Oh,
A bluey
Paw Patrol.
one.
A Bluey?
Mhm.
Oh,
Bluey. Always Bluey. That is the answer.
Always Bluey.
Bluey Band-Aids. I mean, yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Not anything extravagant, just a few rounds of assessment.
We can arm wrestle after.
You'll
that's
lose.
I am also open to that. I have not arm wrestled in quite some time.
You will lose.
I'm just gonna look at her like, bro.
Under my breath, just like you're gonna lose.
Alright.
Yeah.
She is the champion, my friend. Like as it sets in.
She steps out sort of into the center. Who is willing to participate?
Is everybody out here?
I think so.
And now you want in on this?
All right. Pull out 2 daggers.
All right. You two? Okay.
Anybody else hopping in?
Okay. You see
Is it
her...
Is it 1-on-1?
No, it's 2-on-1 right now, is what it sounds like. You see her pull this shield off
She
her
just doesn't want
back
everybody.
that you saw originally, and then pull a long sword out of that sheath. And the sword that she pulls out, you see, the blade, the metal of it is dark gray to black almost. It looks both beautiful and terrifying.
I'll jump in on this, but I'll give Faye a thing of water to drink.
Okay.
And
Okay. Since we are not trying to actually hurt each other, and you see her take her 2 fingers and move them along her blade, and there's just this slight shimmer that is left behind on the blade edge. Eclipse,
I know what book that is from, you nerd.
You would have seen this before, because you've trained a bunch. This is like a magical ward that removes the sharp edge, basically, and makes it more of like
I'll probably
a
like
painful
hold
hit,
out
but
the spear just to
Yeah.
be like, can you do
She does the
thing?
same thing to the spear. The 2
I
daggers.
will invert the daggers pommel side up.
Ah,
Okay.
so they're more like fist weapons. at the point.
Okay.
Kind of like a pop, pop.
Okay. And then she flips the sword back up in her hand, takes a shield. All right. Let's see what you got. And we'll take a break there. And pick up a small duel on the other side. Okay. We back. Initiative rolls have been made. Eclipse,
Do we
you are
have to be
first.
on- Okay.
No, there's no map. This is theater of the
nothing.
mind.
It is just impromptu bullshit.
Mm-hmm. You're basically all in like a 15-foot circle around her right now, more or less.
Okay.
So,
Then I'll go in and try for my usual shit.
okay. Do some usual shit.
2 schmacks. $13 on the first one? I don't
That
think so.
misses. No.
And then 19 on the second one.
That misses. You see her lean back for your first stab, and then the second one, she knocked it away with her shield. Seems decently chill about it. Anything else you want to do?
Man. Do I?
Save it, save it, save it.
Didn't want to see what we're made of.
Give her a
I
false
think-
hearing.
I think when the second one misses, I'll unleash.
Okay.
And so it'll probably be like when the spear's kind of angled with the block, I'll just kind of look at her and it'll flash and my fur will puff up at the same time.
Okay. All right. And you're going to hold there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nas, you're up.
Okay. Go into a flanking position, and
Okay.
we're just gonna do 2 attacks. Action, bonus action.
Okay. With the daggers.
13 on the first.
Misses. 19 on the second. You're not down.
The offhand is a natural 19.
Oh, that crits. What's
Um,
okay?
So, I'm guessing this is bludgeoning now because I'm using the
Yes.
pommels.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be 20 points of damage.
Woo! Damn. Okay.
I
That's a
apologize.
big-ass crit from a
I
dagger.
don't get my modifier on my bonus action daggers, so it's 15.
Correct, because you're not using your thing. Okay.
Yep, it's 15.
So 5 more back. Okay. And that's it?
That's it.
Okay, Brightwing, you want to be a part of this?
Yeah.
All right, you're up.
I'll cast Wild Bolt at her
Okay.
at 3rd level.
Ooh! Okay.
Right when
Hell
hold me
yeah.
back.
Fire away. That's an attack, right?
I believe it is. Let me just make sure. The spell has a lot of words. On a hit, yes, a spell attack.
Actually, you know what?
This bitch.
She sees you begin to move your hands, and you see her flip her sword and swing the hilt of it across like the front of her face. And as she does this, shimmering like field of arcana flies out, strikes you, and the spell is countered.
Damn.
Do you want to move?
Nah, I'll stay where I am and I'll shift.
Okay.
That's my bonus
All right. Unleashed it and shifted it. Okay.
Also,
It is
because it was Theater of the Mind and the original was flanking, could I have taken a position within 5 feet of Eclipse at the end of my turn?
Yeah, you can move after. Yeah, you can do that. Sure. Okay. It is Avira's turn. She is up in with both of you, flips her sword back over, and sort of holds it straight out, hilt one way, or hilt up and down, blade one way, pommel the other way, and you see this, like a small burgeoning of silvery energy, and then it fires out at Eclipse. Eclipse, I need you to make a wisdom save.
You still have the gauntlet on.
True. Anna has 2 charges left.
That's great because it's really bad. This is a saving throw?
Yes, wisdom save.
It's a 9.
9. After you finish your attacks and unleash, and your hair bristles up, you see this woman step in front of you and release this energy, and you prepare to retaliate, and then your body locks up, paralyzed. You are held. And she looks at you, looks back at you, Nas, and flips the sword one more time, and this the black of the blade seems to almost melt down through the pommel, and then she flicks it outwards, and it flies towards you and attaches itself to you. You don't know what it does. And she will move around you to put you between her and Eclipse. And it is Eclipse's turn. Eclipse, make another wisdom save. The end of your turn.
This is the whole combat, by the way, guys. This isn't gonna happen. This is now my life.
This is not my life.
It's a natural 1, Matt.
Nope, you are still
Oh,
paralyzed.
This is now the entire combat. I hope you guys have a good
Yeah.
Nas, you are up.
Oh, this bitch.
Yetch.
No.
Can I shout from the sidelines when I see Eclipse get stuck? And just say, the Aanthara arm wrestling champion of the world! And like just fall over and give her an inspiration.
Yep,
Throws up afterwards.
Yep. Okay, you have an inspiration. D8 you can use on your next save.
Why not? I'll use bonus action to cast Hex
Okay.
with my own little effects
Mhm.
going across the ground and attaching to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll try to hit her with a booming blade.
Okay.
Booming pommel.
Yeah, booming pommel. Fire
Booming
away.
blommel.
Fire away.
25.
Ooh, that hits.
Okay. So
Uh,
that would be...
Ooh. No, it doesn't hit. It goes right towards her, and having just had her turn and got a reaction back, you see the shield. She starts to lift it up, but you're too fast for her to get there, and then this additional like growth of the shield and arcane energy around it appeared as she cast shield, which you miss with a 25 on.
But she uses her reaction.
Yes, she does.
Oh my god, a spell for you.
Yeah.
I'll wink.
Okay. You gonna use your bonus action attack? Oh, you use your bonus action.
I use my bonus
Yeah,
action for Hex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Brightwing, you're up.
Where is the magic that she's using from?
You've seen it largely come off of her sword. It seems like she uses her sword to cast spells. If that's what you're asking.
I don't think the spell magic would work. I don't want to try it.
You can roll an Arcana check if you want.
I would love to. Let's see.
Sure, roll an Arcana check.
Oh, 11.
You don't know. It looks like a magic sword.
It's a magic sword.
Yep.
Alright. Well, I'll cast Bless on my friends.
Okay. You included?
Sure, I never get to cast it on myself.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
have a D4, and the other two of you also have a D4. So Cliff now has a D4 and a D8. Okay. And that's your turn?
Whole con-
And let me look at my bonus actions. Let me see. Pretty sure. I'll cast Shillelagh on my staff.
Okay, sure. Just get in there. All right. Okay. Avira on the other side of you now, Nas, gives you a wink back and flips the sword once and swings at you for a dirty 20.
Shield.
Okay.
Correct.
The sword deflects off it, and she cocks her head, swings again. 27
That hits.
with the shield. Yeah, because you don't have your. Well, you wouldn't be that.
Well,
high.
I don't have my +1 because I don't have my
Yeah.
blade out.
Okay.
So I'm at a 23 right now.
Okay. That's gonna be 9. It's bludgeoning damage
Okay.
because of what she put on the blade edge, and she's gonna drop a smite up in there. At
There's a spot
third
in
level.
here.
So that's gonna be 9 plus 12, 21 radiant damage.
I rolled a 16 on my con save.
Okay, so you're fine. And she gives you a look of okay, basically, and stands in position. Oh, sorry. Plus 5. That's another 5. Wait, what is that? I think it's necrotic. Please hold. Please hold. Well, new character. Who dis? No, it's just the type of damage it is. So additional 5 bludgeoning damage. And then she's going to use her bonus action for Maddening Hex to deal an additional 4 psychic damage. And you fail?
Well, if it's 9 plus 21 plus 4 plus 5, that's 39. I didn't say
Okay,
that.
then yes. Okay, so your concentration on Hex is lost. Additionally, you are within 5 feet of Eclipse. You feel this pain in your head, and then there's like this bzzz between you two can, or the rest of you can barely see between his and Eclipse. Eclipse, you also take 4 psychic damage.
What?
Hmm. And that is her turn. Eclipse,
Oh, what the-
you're at the end of your turn. You can make a save with a D8 and a D4.
Asparagus.
That's an 18.
18 saves.
I was
You-
like, this is the combat.
Yeah, you feel the words of Faye and the magic of Brightwing seep into you and loosen up, and you shrug off the rest of it and have your motor skills back. It is the end of your turn, so you don't have a turn this round, but you will next round. Nas, you are up.
Don't wanna. Yeah, we'll pivot. Try to hit her with a booming blade.
Okay.
That's all I got right now. No. 18.
Nope, that misses.
Offhand attack. Less.
Less?
Oh
You're
wait,
adding
it's
bless?
with. I forgot bless on the first one. I said what? 18.
Yes,
With bless, that is a dirty 20.
that misses.
Yeah, and the other one couldn't do it even with bless.
Okay. And that's your turn? Anything else?
Yep.
All right. Brightwing.
I would like to cast spiritual weapon.
Okay. Spiritual weapon, what is it?
Ooh, it's so the plants are gonna grow. So it's just all these like different flowers and leaves and vines. And it's gonna grow into a goat.
A goat. All right. And you make an attack.
Into a goat.
Yeah. It's gonna ram him. So that
I
would
got better.
be...
Got better.
I got better. Plus what? Plus 8 to hit. That would be a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Go,
Roll
go.
damage. She's not going to use a shield on spiritual weapon.
On a goat?
On a goat.
It's rude.
I'm on a goat.
Whoa. I was trying to find my D8, and this is the D4.
What?
Look at this.
What?
It's a cube?
It's rounded on the sides.
Ah!
Oh,
I
those are
have
cool.
those.
I didn't know.
Oh?
I didn't know this was a D8.
Oh, that's cool.
Like the butts are
It's
like
a 4.
round.
Oh,
It
it
doesn't
can't land on
matter,
the
but
butt.
that's cool. This is a D8. An 8! Wow! I gotta let my friend know that these dice are great. An 8 plus 5.
13. Okay. Okay.
And
Any
then-
action?
Yeah! I'll run up and hit her with shillelagh.
Okay. Swing away.
Natural 20!
Oh my gosh. All right, roll damage.
I don't think I've actually really ever hit anybody with shillelagh before. What's the damage? Oh, it's the same thing. That's very
It is.
4
Plus 5, 9.
plus 5, 9 plus
Okay.
8?
Huh?
Because it's a natural 20?
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
Make sure you roll your spell damage twice. Take the higher of the two.
Correct.
Oh, okay. 7.
That is
so-
better.
7 plus 8 plus 5?
15.
So an
20.
additional 10. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Woo! What a turn. All right. She is turned by that as she sees you come in, looks back at Nas briefly, and then, okay, and swings at you, Brightwing.
Oh, God, okay.
That's not it. That is a 24
It's just go hit.
for 10 bludgeoning damage, plus she will drop another smite, because why not? So that is 14 radiant damage. Second attack, 22 to hit.
Brightwing.
Yep.
Still on Brightwing, for 9 damage.
Is Brightwing within 5 feet of me?
Brightwing, would you have flanked? I think Brightwing would have probably flanked.
I rolled not with advantage, but
Well, flanking doesn't give advantage.
Yeah.
It reduces the crit chance.
that's what it was. But I still
I did.
rolled on the
I
first
Yeah, you
pivoted
rolled
to get her to
94
look
regardless.
away from Eclipse.
You were
So-
next to Eclipse, right?
I was originally, and then I said I pivoted to go around. So
And she went around you, which she still is, because Eclipse
okay.
has not moved yet. So Brightwing probably would have gone on the other side, so I would say she's not within 5 feet of Eclipse. Even if she was next to Nas, she wouldn't be. And she will drop a second level smite into that one. 10 radiant damage. And we'll use her bonus action for Maddening Hex. Nas and Eclipse, you both take 4 psychic damage. Feel that
Like
same
a
pain in your
warlock?
mind. Huh?
I'm speculating as to her class.
And Eclipse, it is your turn. You have all of your mobilities back.
A single round. Before that is no longer the case. Okay.
Go, Kitty, you're so fine. You're so finely blow my mind. Hey, Kitty.
I will
Hey,
fucking
Kitty.
rip into her.
Cut an inspiration?
Yeah.
Okay, you have a D8 if you need it.
This is what I'm able to come up with from the sidelines.
Here this time, Anneka.
I'm here for it.
She's just watching.
Just chilling.
She's chilling.
It's a dirty
She didn't want a part of this.
That misses.
Son of a fucking...
You can go. Oh no, you can't go.
24?
That hits.
Uh, 12 on the second one.
Ooh, okay.
Then I'll action surge and do it again.
Damn. Oh, did you use a D8 on the first one, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even... Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't use inspiration at all on the first one. That
It was a
just
20,
roll. It was a
right?
20 total. Yeah.
So if you want to add the inspiration, that would hit.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you have to add it before you know. So I don't want to...
Do you?
That
I won't
is.
do that.
I don't think
Ah.
so.
It's after you've rolled, but before you know the total.
Yeah.
Before you know the
Before you know the
outcome.
result. Yeah. So... it's a 1, so that doesn't really matter. That one's trash. So we'll find out how that goes.
Do you have D? Oh, did you use a D4 on the first attack?
No.
You
So
have
what?
D4s on all of these.
Okay.
Okay.
One of those was a natural one, so it doesn't matter. So that would have been
Last
24 on the
one.
first one.
Yeah, so that one will hit, and then the last one is.
Last one's 18, so that's gonna miss.
No, that misses, but another one hits.
10.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Any movement? Or are you staying there?
I mean, I get in the general little
Yeah.
triangle to try and get flanking for Nas.
Okay. Yeah, you're basically all triangulated now around. her.
Yeah.
Okay. Nas, you're up.
You looking at me?
She's looking between all of you. You get the sense she is capable of multi-person combat and is trying to maintain an eye on everybody as much as she can.
Cool.
Oh. I will bait and switch. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
With Brightwing.
Okay, with Brightwing. Roll that AC.
Keep forgetting I have this thing. +4 for
To
Brightwing.
whomst. Okay. Alright, Brightwing, give you +4. Nas?
Yeah. Let's just. All right. I'll keep flanking. I'll just pop her with another booming blade.
Okay.
Twenty-one.
A Tyranny is her armor class. She will let it
Well,
happen. She's not going to shield
I
this.
will also say that was before the bless.
Okay.
So it wasn't, yeah, but still 23.
That hits.
So that is 11 points of damage with an additional. Fuck, where's my D8? There it is. 8 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
She is reverberating.
Yes.
And
Which
then I'll
is only if she moves?
only if she moves.
Okay.
And then I will just spin and hit her with the offhand as well.
Go for it.
It's 19 plus 1, dirty 20.
That misses.
Yeah.
Okay. She's looking kind of hurt. Decently. Worn, we'll say, because you're not actually killing each other, but she looks worn. Nas. No, that was Nas. Brightwing, you're up.
Brightwing. It's hurt.
Did we skip her turn?
Whomst.
Whatever her name is? Avira?
No, she went.
She's after you in initiative.
Yeah, she's after Brightwing.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
She's has the lowest initiative. She rolled a damn 4.
I'm gonna back up.
Okay, she will take.
I know bait and switch.
She can take an attack for opportunity still, but she's not going to. She watches you back up, calculatingly.
Gotta cast Cure Wounds on myself at 3rd level.
Oh, you're saying if Eclipse did it from behind you, so she wasn't up. I don't know whether Eclipse would have done that, as opposed to switching places with you, but still on her because you were meleeing her. But in any case, she's not taking the attack, so it's fine. You can back up.
No.
You're healing yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to.
Okay.
3d8.
Ooh, that's a big heal.
Yeah.
5, 3, 7, 12, plus 5.
17. Nice. Okay. That was a healing word.
That was a 3rd level Cure Wounds.
Oh, cure wounds. Okay, and you have your bonus action spiritual weapon attack.
Hit her. Go.
Do it. Swing.
Swing.
Somebody
go.
come get her.
That's
She's
not-
sitting like a.
That's not gonna hit.
Miss, you said?
It's gonna miss.
Okay. All right, that is your turn. Avira watches you go, gives like a brief nod, and then turns back to the other two of you, and will go for Nas because he has him hexed.
I don't think I have Bless anymore.
Hex bladed, technically.
If I got hit that badly, because it's concentration, right? And I lost.
Roll a
lot.
concentration check.
Okay.
She hit you twice.
Yeah, it was 2 different
Yeah.
attacks. So
And they were
Okay.
low on the smites, so I think you need like a
Oh,
12 or
then
something.
I make it. I make concentration. You're good.
okay.
Was
All
it
right.
on both? Because he did get hit twice.
That's true.
Yeah, you do have to do it on both.
What's my con? The next one's a 12. Is that save?
That's close. I'm gonna say that's okay. It's
Okay.
right there. I don't remember exactly what the damage was, but that's pretty close. Okay. First attack on Nas. Ooh, that is a 27 to hit.
Yep.
For 9 bludgeoning damage, +4, so 13.
I'm out.
Okay.
No,
All
you're
of this
not.
is non-lethal.
You hit me for 40. I'm out.
Okay. So you crumple. You're not even really unconscious. This is non-lethal, but you're just so beat
Mhm.
that you're essentially out of the fight, is what we'll say. Unless someone heals you. So she turns to Eclipse with the other attack. Oh, that's not good. That's a 14.
No. How much
Okay.
did you get hit for, Brian?
Is it 14? Oh, did you
it-
intercept?
I did. That's what I was trying
Oh.
to do.
Oh, you can intercept.
Yeah.
It was 9 + 5. Yeah, it was 14.
So I rolled 7.
Does
So, yeah,
7
so I
keep
just
you
had
up?
a
Yep.
bit. Yeah.
Okay, then she is going
What
to
the fuck,
drop
bro?
she's gonna drop a smite into that. Then I'm not
don't.
even gonna roll for it, but you take a spell slot off her, but that knocks you down
Yes,
still.
that's
I will say if it's smite damage, you can't non-lethal that. I think I'm unconscious at that point.
That's kind of fair.
Yeah, I'm unconscious.
All right, you're unconscious.
Sweet.
Okay, she turns to Clips, misses, and that is.
Can I load
yeah,
a
that's
potion of healing into the other
Sure.
when Nas
If
and
you
like
want to.
slowly like just in the sidelines drag him off
Okay. Yeah.
and then just whip him? Like
My fucking
Okay, go for it.
Now a second person.
So you get max. That is 10.
You make
okay.
us both sick.
Please.
Roll a D100.
Oh, I have
Oh,
to
test
deal
all
with
of these.
Luke.
We're just
6.
creating- Oh. fuck.
6. Oh, that's above
Oh
the
my
first range
god, Megan.
though. That is above the first range. Okay, Nas,
Uh-huh.
you suffer, or you will suffer. You don't know it right now, from minor amnesia of the events an hour preceding and an hour after this event.
Nas,
So
tell
you
me how you
probably-
feel. Tell me how this feels. Do you feel better? Do you have any side effects?
Why are we outside?
Yep. Okay.
Why am I bleeding?
That is her turn. Eclipse,
Trying
you're
to
up.
think these are
I don't know
bad
the
ideas.
password anymore.
Well, that's
Nope.
great. All right, let's do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
We fucking go again. Shit. 25.
That hits. Yeah.
For 13 on the first one,
Okay.
and then nah. 8 + 6, nowhere near.
You do
I was blessed.
still have a D4. That won't get you. It can't get you high enough.
No.
Okay. All right. Is that your turn? Any movement?
Yes.
Anything else? Okay. Brightwing. We're skipping Nas. Oh, well, unless Nas
I
you want to
can-
get back in, but you are.
I don't remember that we were
Yeah, you
fighting.
have no idea
Yeah.
what's happening.
I'll get between her and Brightwing, if anything. Just to be
Okay,
sure.
you can definitely do that. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Brightwing, you're up.
Your AC is back to normal.
Yes.
Oh,
Gonna
Matt.
Mm-hmm.
-6 because I've not been unleashed because she held person and I went around without hitting her.
Have you used a bonus action, or have you had a turn?
I
since
haven't
you
used
came
a
back
bonus
that you
action.
didn't use a bonus action.
Yeah, several.
Okay.
I mean, I can
say
re-up it on the
You would have
land.
upped it.
Okay.
Yeah, you would have re-upped
Okay.
it, so that's fine. You can leave that up.
Alright.
Okay. Brightwing, what are you doing?
I'm gonna. Oh, I can't cast that one because that's concentration. Concentrating on this thing.
Flash.
Did Bless drop off? No, because we
Wait,
passed
No,
the
she kept it.
concentration.
God bless your I don't got any combat skills. I was ready for espionage.
Mhm.
Grasping vine one? No, not really. Not in this situation. Alright. I'll hit her with the Wild's Bolt again.
Hit her with a wild bolt. Okay.
Texas is showing.
Is she going freaking?
No, she will not. You can get it off.
Wait, is she bad now? What? How?
Third level again.
You were sparring. You were right. You were in it.
There's
I just
something
pat him
wrong
on the
with her.
shoulder, try to soothe his worrying mind.
Okay, God. Nas, you are so fucking confused right
Yeah.
now.
24.
None of this makes
Whoa.
sense. This feels
No.
like it
Goat?
might be a fever dream.
Mhm.
24 with the Wild's Bolt?
Yay.
Yeah, that hits. Roll
Jesus Christ.
your damages and remember or note your type.
Alright. 5, which is lightning,
Okay.
and 3, which is
She's
fire.
not a shambling mound, so you could choose lightning and it will be okay.
Are they wearing armor?
They are wearing armor.
I'm gonna go with lightning.
Okay. So that was 8
and
and
then
then a d6.
D6. 5, and then because it's at third
13.
level, 2 more
D6s.
D6s.
Okay.
5,
18.
2,
What was the last one? 2?
2.
2. Okay, 20 damage. Woo!
And then-
Okay.
Come on, goat!
Come on, goat!
Get her!
Why is there a shrubbery goat?
There's shrubbery here. 22.
That hits.
Oh,
Damn, the
14.
spiritual weapon rolls really well.
It's a +8 to hit, so.
Yeah, that does
That
help.
was mine.
That's not good on the damage. 1 on the damage, so 6 damage.
No, okay. Okay, she's looking pretty beat up. Oh, that is not what I meant to do.
Oops.
Did
Okay.
you heal instead of damage?
Yeah.
I put in the number of health that was supposed to be left and then damaged that much health.
Oops.
Okay. That is Brightwing's turn. It is her turn. She takes a big breath, like steadies herself for a bit, or for a second, and then takes 2 swings at you, Clips. Yeah. Oh, she's gonna bonus action move her Hexblade's Curse to. Wait, can she do that?
Not dead. She cannot.
Oh,
It can only
not
it
dead
can only
yet.
happen if you're dead.
It only
I'm not
happens
dead
when
yet.
They're
I'm
unconscious.
Quite dead yet.
Oh, not quite. That would be hilarious.
When it dies.
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
All right, it stays on you. All right,
Why
that is a
this mark on
19 to
me?
hit you, Eclipse.
That matches.
Okay, that is 7 bludgeoning, and do we have some smite slots to
7
drop?
reduced?
Yes, reduced to 3, and then she will drop a 2nd level smite
Does that
for.
go
that
into the
doesn't
gauntlet?
reduce.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. The smite does. So that is a holy shit. I rolled 2 8s and a 7. That is 23 radiant damage. So you roll 2d12.
Absorb
Okay.
all of it. Just get all of it. All of it.
12,
Get it.
Just roll 24.
2 12s.
24.
2
Just a
12s.
24.
6, 2, 8.
Okay, so you take 15 damage and you have a 8 damage charge in the gauntlet right now.
So I should heal 8? Is that what it is? That I reduce
No, you
that
can
damage?
dish
If
out
you
8
took the
damage.
full 23,
Yeah, I
then you
did.
would heal 8. Okay, yeah,
Okay,
then
that's
heal
what
8.
I'm saying.
Yep. Okay, second attack.
So I have
We didn't
8
test if it's
stored.
stackable.
Well, we're about to
no,
fucking find out.
You did tell you it is not stackable. You can't take multiple charges in it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So this will not add to it.
28 to hit.
Nah.
And it's not a crit?
Nope. And that is a 9 bludgeoning damage.
I am gonna parry though.
Okay. She's not going to drop a
Let's go
smite into
fire.
that.
Where'd the
Weapons
glove
I
come
already
from?
don't- so it's
Why is this thing jabbed into
A
my
very
leg?
strange man.
Continually explain it to Nas as he forgets, and then I re-explain it, and I
Yeah.
keep re-explaining it.
+2.
Not realizing that he's not going to remember any of our
Yeah,
explanations.
the two of you,
I
by the
think-
way, as you talk to him, it's very odd because he seems to continually re-forget what is happening. It's
I
very
just-
strange.
I just keep repeating myself.
Reduce the damage. Okay, so that's reduced by 7. So what was the
Okay,
total?
so you only, it was 9, I believe. No, it was only 7. You
Okay.
rolled a 2, I think. Yeah, so you take no damage.
Okay.
Okay, nice parry. She sees you parry it away with your spear, and tilts her head slightly and gives like a slightly eyebrow raised acknowledgement. And that is. I think she'll let it go another round. So she finishes your turn.
Okay.
It's your turn, Eclipse. If you want to take another turn.
Oh my god. Okay, one more. Just one more.
Yeah.
Fucking god. Nah.
You have D4 still.
Okay.
Hashtag bless.
So the first one was 19 total.
That
With
misses.
plus.
Is her armor class? That hits.
Okay. That's 11 total.
Okay.
And the second one was a natural 1. So
Okay.
Oh, I've
looks pretty
regained my
messed up.
inspiration.
probably
That's
Yes,
like
you
all
have.
of them at this point. That's the third one
You
I've rolled.
only have one action surge, right?
Huh?
You only have one action surge, right?
Yeah. Alright.
Okay. Okay.
That
Brightwing.
I'll. No. I'll hit her with my goat.
Okay, hit her with your goat.
Give him the go.
Give him the chair. That'd be. No, just a 20 to hit.
That misses.
Goat misses.
Goat misses. Anything with your action?
And the bonus action, second one.
With my
Okay.
action.
I healed a full.
Wow.
You know what?
I healed the full amount. That was great.
I don't have any damage besides Wild Bolt.
You have
So,
Sacred Flame? Oh, yeah.
I'll use my 4th level Wild Bolt.
Oh! Okay.
That's all I have.
Go for it.
It's a dumb thing to use your 4th level slot on, but hey. That hits. It's a 22.
Yes, that does hit. Roll 2d8 plus 46?
Yeah.
Okay.
8!
Oh, gosh.
4.
12.
So that is the damage tap. Thunder or force.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick force.
Sure.
I don't know how force is natural, but you know, sometimes life just kicks you.
Force of nature. Hello.
Yeah, of course, nature. Right. 5, 2, 7, 5, 12, 3, 15, 16, 1.
16 and it was
plus
12.
Yeah.
8 plus 4, 12.
So 16 plus 12, so 28?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sheesh! Okay. Okay. As soon as that hits, she takes this boof. It knocks her down to a knee, and she puts her hands up, drops her blade. All right, all right.
Put my stuff away.
Yeah.
Wait. 2 of my daggers are missing. Where'd they go?
Oh no!
Do you want a nap? I don't feel good too. Do you want to go cuddle?
Oh.
I'm just gonna look like I'm gonna hold my arm out to do like to help her
Yep.
up.
She She pulls up. She looks so hecked up.
And I do not.
AKA 3 hit points. No, you don't.
I don't.
Will you help me find the daggers after?
I think you hit him too hard.
I don't think that was me. I could
Did
be
you?
wrong.
And I turn around. Did you get him with that thing? You had it. Oh my god.
She,
Oh,
yeah, she
no.
did. I
Faye and
don't
Naz
think.
are a mess.
Ugh.
Sam, you're probably holding Faye's hair back right now.
This is fluky.
Over on
I
the
guess
side.
nausea is part of
I'll
the
braid it and like tuck it into itself.
Into the back of like the jerkin or something.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Maybe a cuddle, but like from far away, so I didn't get you yucky. Maybe just like a foot cuddle.
A far away cuddle.
Maybe
Leave
we can
room
get you
for
a
Jesus
stuffy.
cuddle.
We could touch
get-
toes.
Avira looks at you, Sam.
Mm.
What's happened to them? That was not me.
When I put it together, what
Roll
is going on?
Roll. I'll just say an intelligence check. You've never seen these little things. that
Natural
Faye's
20.
using. Okay.
Damn.
24.
You recall in her soliloquy
Anneka
about this
creation.
experience that she said that this strange man wanted her to test them because they were highly untested, and you noticed that 2 people who got stabbed with them seem to be having some side effects, and you put it together that it may or may not have been from those items.
Sam,
It would've
Sam,
been
write it all
wrong.
down.
I
Sam.
grab Faye's journal and I write down possible side effects of nausea and memory loss.
Okay. Avira turns back to the other 2 of you. Looks at you first, Eclipse. I see why you was a guardian in the first place. Very impressive.
And that was annoying. I'm just gonna gesture to where I was standing.
Yep. My job is to protect, now specifically to protect your father. I can do my fair bit of destruction, but I care more about keeping foes away from my job. That's one of many tools I have. And you?
She turns and Brightwing's holding the leafy goat in her hand.
Very strange, I would say, but very capable as well. I don't think I know that spell you used. It looks somewhat familiar, but different.
The one with the different elements?
She rubs her
I'm
shoulder where
sorry,
you hit her
that
with that
was-
last one. But it packs quite a punch.
I don't really choose what it does. It's sort of whatever the wilds picks.
Okay, that is quite similar to the spell I know, but I am not familiar with these wilds. Perhaps you'll have
It
to tell
summoned the
me.
goat.
She gives a right then face and nod.
Is there like a training dummy kind of tree that I've usually been hitting in the backyard somewhere?
Yeah,
can
we
I
can
like
say there's a
try to
training dummy
aim
tree.
the thing that I have with the glove and try to
Sure.
fire it again?
Yeah, roll an attack.
Do whatever you want, just please don't throw up on me.
Wow, that was.
I'll
so
take out
much
the
better.
Nulzer's Marvelous Pigments and paint myself a bucket.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, we will say that uses 2 square feet to make
Okay.
the full bucket.
I don't know how to mark
Amazing.
that.
I think the 24 total. Hold on,
Damn.
let me check.
Okay.
Let's have to not be hitting Faye. I think it's.
there is-
But
There
at
is a
some
tree that
point
has-
throughout all this, Naz is missing a boot. He took it off. He doesn't know where.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep, that checks out.
I'm carrying all the shit he's losing. before he wakes
Take
up.
aim at this tree that is scarred in a few places with spear strikes from many practice bouts over the years. Your mother is rather upset about how scarred the tree is, but you
It's fine.
It's
Could
worth
we
it.
say that they like the oldest ones are like lower, and
Yeah,
as
just
they
Yeah.
like go up it,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, that's cute.
Little things,
And you
barely.
blast a chunk out of the tree with the gauntlet.
5,000 gold.
It works. It works.
I like
Also, that's the second time you've used it?
Yeah.
Okay, roll 2d20s for me. I forgot on the first one.
it. You look so distrusting towards your dice.
No, I'm just scared of what this is gonna do.
Break it.
17 on the first one, and a 2 on the second one.
Okay. Nothing happens. But my goodness.
Function.
Okay.
I'm going to take it off and just hold it. As
Alright.
we are done fighting.
Okay. You guys make your way back inside. Faye and Nas probably up somewhere to nap off their varying side
Gosh.
effects.
I'll
Or
ask
trying to.
Celeste if we could make them like a very nice broth soup,
Okay.
and I'll be like getting them fluids
Okay.
and going nurse mode.
Incidentally, once you begin to have a slight bit of conversation with Nas trying to figure out what's wrong, it is weird. He is losing it and seems to every about 30 seconds or so forget what has happened in the last 30 seconds.
I was working. How am I here? Where am I?
Divert. Divert. What you do with dementia patients. Divert.
Are you talking to me?
Whoever's around me, he doesn't know
Yeah.
who's doing what now.
He's talking to nothing right now. He's
Yeah.
out in the
I'll-
ether.
I'll,
Mhm.
out of obligation, stick around for a little bit just to help them get situated.
I will write. You don't remember, but you're at Eclipse's house. And just put it in his
my
hand.
God.
And
Okay.
then every time he's like, "Where am I?" I'll just point to the note.
Okay. Sam, you were saying.
Oh, I just help
Okay.
care for them for like an hour or two, and then eventually go off.
Okay.
Whoever wants to come with me at that point.
Do you say anything about it?
Just mention that I just want to go. I'm gonna go get drinks.
Okay.
That's it.
Faye and Nas, I'm guessing, are out of. Well, Nas's effect only lasts for an hour, so if you wait for a couple hours.
I am still suffering from a level of exhaustion. So
Okay. All right. So you're gonna
he's
stay.
out.
Brightwing Eclipse.
Probably put the little glove thing next to Faye with her notebook and probably write down the second shot and that, was successful. Same sensation. Worked with, like, I'm guessing I could tell it was probably similar to how Aedwin attacks and does things. So, like, this style magic,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I'd probably write similar to Aedwin's magic because I don't know what the fuck it is.
Okay. Do either of you two, Eclipse or Brightwing, want to go with Sam when she mentions going off?
I'm taking
Right, when
care
you-
of Faye.
You got this?
Okay.
I'll go with her then, that way she's not by herself.
Okay.
It's fine if you want to stay. It's a normal place that I go to, and I'm probably just gonna go home afterwards.
I mean, if you want to go alone, I'm not gonna intrude. You can say so.
Doesn't matter to me.
I'll go with.
Okay. All right. The rest of you recover and have some soup. Sam, where are you headed off to?
Going off to my normal place, Trinstein.
Okay. Eclipse, you may not have been to this particular establishment. It's a little outside the central area of Olleah where the consortium and the academy are, kind of the more upscale. A little bit more in like the divey area. But she takes you to a tavern. Stone and wood construction from the outside. kind of has a little bit of a mix between like an old-time tavern feel and a more hipster-esque brewery sort of feel, if you've ever been to those kinds of places. There is a rooftop that you can see with those like strung lights throughout. That appears to be like a rooftop bar area. But where you walk in on the main floor just seems to be kind of a everyday pub atmosphere, and it's called the Shaded Stein.
Go to the bar.
Okay.
Take a seat down.
Yeah, it takes a couple minutes before the barman finishes with a couple other patrons and heads over to you. You guys see, Sam, very familiar to you, Eclipse, you see a grizzled, early 60s or so human man, close-cropped gray hair and beard, has a black leather strip that forms an eye patch diagonally over his left eye, and otherwise relatively normal barman clothes, white shirt, black leather apron. Well, it's been a while since I've seen you around here.
Indeed, Major.
How are things going?
They could be better, but to be honest.
Kids all right?
Sure.
All right. And nice to meet you. I'm the Major. Major Garrett Wolfhart.
Eclipse. Nice to meet you.
Pleased. Can I get you to something to drink?
Whatever's on tap today.
All right.
So,
All right. Heads back to a couple taps. Grabs a couple large steins. Fills them up, frothing, sets them down in front of you. For friends on the house.
Thank you. Just begin face in the glass until it's empty.
probably take it slow, just kind of watching, observing, not saying anything, just
Okay.
simmering.
This tavern has a pretty mixed clientele, you notice, Eclipse. You are very observant of these kinds of things, obviously. And it seems like as you'll scope people come in, with rather consistent, with consistency, the people who come in dressed a little nicer seem to go up, and then the people who come in dressed like a little more divey or not seedy in the way they look bad, but just lower tier in terms of means, make their way downstairs. And then some hang out in the general area you're in.
Are there different levels to this place?
Yeah, I mean, there's a rooftop area. It's really nice up there. You go on dates, it's a nice view.
Well, it's downstairs. Just out of the way.
Just kind of taking in the atmosphere again. Small seed of sadness sets in. Gets in the glass.
Did your husband used to bring you here?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't bring me here. That's just kind of where we met up. Long ago.
Do I recognize any of like students coming in here at any point?
Roll a history check.
It's a natural 20? What?
Hey,
Where was
yo.
that for like the last
Okay.
hour? Fuck.
Apparently, you should have gone the Remy route and been or your dad's route, I guess.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I will say you recognize like a group of 3 students that come in at some point. They seem definitely like older year.
Like alumni almost kind of vibe.
Yeah, very, very high. Like, you would have probably known them to be even above your age when they were in school, and you've seen them around
Okay.
just in the means of your job. But mostly not students. Most people who go up seem to be like the higher brass of society, if you will, and most of the people who go down seem like the working class, more or less.
Okay.
This is not so much the student tavern, it seems.
That's crazy. I didn't even really think this was here.
No, I mean, it's a lot of little places like this. Most people don't even think twice about them.
You know any more like this?
A few, but this is the best one to go to by far.
How's the food?
It was not bad, depending on how much you want to pay for it.
Does it vary? Is the better food upstairs?
Yeah.
Is
Sure.
it better because it's more expensive, or is it actually better?
You know what? Maybe it's a little bit of both. They upcharge a lot.
I'm sorry, we're kind of in our own head.
Yeah. What do you think about everything?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I should leave. I mean, that lady's plenty capable of herself. But I'm really scared she's gonna pull that shit with Luna and take him away.
I don't blame you. When you have everything back, everything is here.
Yeah, but it's not gonna stay that way until we do something. Now we gotta go get your stuff back.
Yeah. I'm just still debating whether or not to drag you guys into this.
I think we're already plenty in it.
Oh, I mean, these people. They wouldn't hesitate to try assassins again. On us, on you all. Just for being vaguely involved in this.
Well, if they're wrapped up in it, and they're why we had to go through that in the first place. I'm definitely plenty involved already.
Guess. It just doesn't sit
Regardless.
right with me.
You helped.
And I got what I needed. Those two. And I'll start using my mind link at this point, so no one can hear us.
Have you mind linked Eclipse before?
I have not.
Okay, Eclipse, this is a new experience for you.
That my voice gets very staticky, very sharp. Almost like a clipping microphone at points. I mean, those two, based off what they said, I have no doubt in my mind that the Rourkes had them go kill Storm and Icescale. And their involvement, at least the Rourkes' involvement, was what I was looking for.
I think when Eclipse is like trying to register that this is how this works, she'll probably take a drink to stop herself from talking out loud, and so she'll relay it back. Yeah, then they're gonna get what's coming to them. This has to stop.
I just don't know how possible it is. They have.
Would it be more fun to just irritate them, don't you think?
Trust me, I've tried. They are arrogant. Too smart for their own good. And if they have possibly a dry car working towards the same goal as them, I don't want to know what else is going on. Who else they have in their arsenal that could be pulled out against us. Not to mention, my kids are probably caught up in the crossfire as well.
Yeah, we're gonna need to do something about that.
Yeah.
So our contact, person we heard this from in the first place,
Mhm.
how much of that do you want them to know?
As little as possible right now. You all and one other person are the only ones that have been entrusted with this.
I just figured we should get that out of the way now, before we say something we don't need to say.
Yeah. I don't need that part of the conversation unless I feel it's necessary.
Okay. She kind of smirks into the cup and looks over and she's like, but just imagine how pissed they're gonna be.
They're kind of pissed. It's not the fun kind of pissed. Trust me. I've tried. I've seen it.
Yeah. I've seen a few rich, entitled people in my life. People who think they can walk in and buy what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb bastards.
I have no doubt they've come in there before asking for stuff, based on what we learn now. Ugh.
Is that static something you hear all the time?
Yeah. All the time. You know, just get used to some stuff.
Yeah, it's distracting.
Distracting and destroying all sorts of bad. Hope Remy can find what's causing it. Oh.
I think if anybody here could, she definitely can. She said some crazy shit.
Especially if she goes to Hugo for help and they use their collaborated minds.
Yeah, they've done that before. I think she also, man, one day she had this crazy theory, and I think I lost them for probably like 3 days. They were just gone. Nobody could talk to them.
Makes me feel a little better about it then. After how many years somebody finally can start to pick it apart. Better late than never.
The confidentiality is pretty good too. She's a bit of a chatterbox, but she knows when to keep a secret. I think by that point, I'll probably have pulled out one of the comic books.
Okay.
Just kind of put it on the counter and just slide it over.
Okay.
What is this comic book?
On the cover, there is what looks like... Man, I'm trying to think of which one I pulled out. Yeah, so on the cover would be a red tiefling woman that looks like a burlesque dancer of sorts, standing next to I think it's a slightly shorter, darker skin with red hair, very elegant looking, almost fae-like person, very elven, kind of a taller, not a little bit taller than the tiefling man with like a goatee, kind of Tony Stark looking hair with a shield, and a silver dragonborn, and just kind of as a little, it's like them walking into just a very standard normal garb, like just walking in a direction. It looks very basic. On the top it just says the Iron Sons. It's kind of childish, but gets my mind off things.
Slip through it a little bit.
It seems kiddish, and then you get through enough of it, and the tiefling is very mature.
Like it. I like it. Yeah.
You see her trying to antagonize the shorter, tan skinned person. And they are having a bit of a bout about it, and there's some banter going on.
Never really got into these projects. Better late than never, though.
There's a few of them. They take a while to put these out, but when they do, they're pretty fun. I don't know if it's actually somebody going around, but I mean, again, it might help with the. She kind of gestures as if turning a dial.
Mm-hmm. Give it a read before I go to bed.
You can see it's clearly worn from turning. There's creases in certain pages. There's like...
Which page is the most creased?
Probably the ones with the Tony Stark looking guy.
Okay. You have a type?
He's interesting. He's got... And then you see, like, at one point, there's him with the Dragonborn. Like, they're almost romantically interested to a degree. It's hinted very heavily. They look at each other. I think they're kind of cool. I don't know what's going on, though. They haven't really, like, touched on that yet.
I see it. I see it. Yeah.
They're trying to save it's kind of a dying world. Or an almost dead one. Again, they haven't really touched on a lot, but it's different.
Pocket the book in my bag. Think I should go check on my place. It's been like a month. So.
You want backup in case they decided to be that much more of an asshole about it?
Sure.
Cool.
Oh.
I'll finish off my one glass at that point.
The barman comes back, asks for 1 silver for the extra beer that you got, Sam.
Slide it over.
You'll be around again soon, or take him back off?
Hopefully I'll be around for a while.
Hope to see you. Good to meet you as well.
Thank you very much.
See you around, Major. We'll salute.
He salutes in a very militaristic fashion.
I'll mimic it as best as I can.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll start walking back to my place.
Okay. You make your way eventually to your home. Locked. You have a key.
Has it been fucked with in any way since I left?
Roll an investigation check.
Investigation. That is a 23.
Okay. No, it doesn't look like anything has been tampered with on the lock or the door.
Okay.
You can see.
I'll unlock the door and step inside.
Okay. It's dark and empty, as you left it, as far as you can remember. You staying here for the night?
Yup. Step over some toys that are still scattered on the ground that I never bothered to pick up.
I will carry your investigation check over, and you also have a very high passive perception. As you move through the house to a few of your familiar spots, eventually settling down for the night, you do notice a few things out of place. And from that, give a little bit further intentional investigation. With your role and your skill set, it seems like somebody at some point, probably a little while back, made their way through. Didn't take anything, barely moved anything, but just enough for you to notice with that high of a roll. Can't tell anything more about who, but it just not exactly as things should be, and you notice that.
I'll start searching around. Looking through all my shit. Was anything taken? Was anything planted? Why?
Carrying over your roll.
Fuck.
You don't find anything taken, you don't find anything planted. As far as you can tell, it seems like somebody came through briefly casing or looking for something. You're not quite sure what. And then left.
And the lock was not broken or anything.
No.
I had a key. That motherfucker. Alright.
Eclipse has just been chilling at the door. She hasn't come in.
You see Sam like step in and kind of like look around suspiciously and then start shifting through her own stuff. And then just like lean back against the dining table and just look around a little pissed off, a little suspicious. Like a tired repetitive kind of mad. This is not the first time.
Did you want the night by yourself?
I think that would be best.
Well, you'll know where to find us.
Yeah.
If anything happens, don't hesitate.
And if I don't reply in the morning, you know where to look.
And I'll make note of how to get here.
Okay. You absolutely are able to do that with your skill set. Profession going to roll. Okay. You head home?
Yep.
All right. Eventually, those of you who are sick or forgetful
I'd like to
do
think,
drift off to sleep. Okay.
in my head canon, there are a number of points that Nas like wakes up or jostles a bit as he's falling asleep, and Brightwing has druid crafted vines with this piece of paper like around his arm,
Uh-huh.
so that he consistently sees it every time that he starts freaking out.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he'll
yeah.
look at it and he'll like look around the bed and see Faye at the other end. He'll just like peek up. Faye? I think you might be muted.
No, you're
No.
good.
Oh, I missed it.
I just said,
Oh.
ha.
Ah. Oh.
Why is there a skeleton?
Huh?
There's a skeleton touching my foot.
That's fucked up. That is so fucked up.
I'm getting out of here.
Megan doesn't get it, neither does Faye.
No, no.
Is it because me? Is it me?
Touching feet, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like kick the blanket up.
Oh.
If you don't want your blanket, I'll take it.
That's fine.
Right
Oh,
wing.
God.
Wait, you don't know him. I'm gonna cast Sending to Ziggy.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
Okay.
Is this like evening, like later in the evening?
It's late in the evening, yeah. At post dinner.
Ziggy! Quick vial! Awful. Feel, sick? Flu, perhaps. Not sure. I have one word left?
No.
No.
You have
Oh,
14 words left.
I'll try to visit tomorrow. Definitely not 7 a.m.
Okay.
Well, that was sooner than I expected. And the results are curious. Perhaps we can talk more in the morning. Try not to make it too late. The scones will get cold.
That's it.
Cold scones.
With that, you drift back to sleep.
Yeah.
As does everyone.
Well,
Before we
as
close.
Eclipse- as
Oh,
Eclipse
go ahead, go
gets
ahead.
Home, Brian was gonna be like, "What the state password?"
Sorry.
There you go.
Oh, someone's got to remind Nas before things are over.
We'll get there.
It hasn't
Okay.
been cast yet.
Mm-hmm.
In the night, Faye. I will leave it up to you whether you would like for people to take their headphones off or not.
Is this about the thing that I said hadn't happened for a while?
Perhaps, you don't know.
Okay, then probably yes.
Okay. Everybody take your headphones off and we will finish shortly when this is over. You find yourself walking in darkness. A massive expanse of darkness that swallows the edges of your vision, leaving you only a small radius of dim, glowing white light that seems to come from you, yourself. You look down and see a glassy surface beneath you, as if you're walking on a thin sheet of dark, unmoving water. Small ripples extend outwards as you step, but disappear quickly out of sight. This is familiar. You've been here before. Awake or asleep, you're not quite positive, but this has to be a dreamscape, right? You close your eyes and shake your head to try to clear it, and as you do, the back of your eyelids suddenly flash red and orange, and you feel an intense heat. You open your eyes, they flash open, and you see a massive flurrying storm of fire, like a tornado and a tsunami both at once, consistently of pure, writhing, whipping, licking tongues of flame, and moving towards you at a terrifying speed. What do you do?
I would pull out the gauntlet and try to absorb some of it.
You stand firm.
Well, I'm assuming, like, if I would have had the items that I had when I was awake, I would have grabbed that gauntlet.
You
So,
reach.
well, I guess it's not a spell.
You reach for where your bag is, and you don't even find your bag.
Okay.
Scroll
Then I'll try
closer.
to, like, sidestep it.
It is
A wall.
hundreds, maybe thousands of feet wide, like a tsunami wave moving towards you.
I will try to... Gosh, I mean... And it's flat. Everywhere's flat.
As far as you can tell,
Okay.
you haven't turned to look behind you in any way, but
I'm just gonna turn and run.
okay.
I'm gonna look
You
for my
turn.
friends.
You start sprinting. Are you calling out to them?
Yeah, and I think it'll be like Eclipse, Right Wing,
Okay.
Nas, and then it'll slip. And as she runs and gets more frantic, it'll be Luke, run, and start calling out for her family.
Okay.
And then at the end, when she realizes no one can hear her, Ariana, somebody.
Roll a charisma check.
"15."
You hear your voice echo out into void and then disappear. Nothing comes back, and you feel the heat crawling behind you and the roar of flames as it begins to close in. And then as you're running and calling out, you feel yourself beginning to slow. Your feet feel heavy, and then your knees feel like they're being dredged down, and you look down and see this deep, dark, inky black sand. is seeming to slowly swallow initially your ankles, then your shins as you try to pull out of it and push further.
Try to whatever I have available, thunder wave to push it away, which I'm sure is in vain. It probably fills right back in, and then enlarge on myself to try to make myself taller and get out of it, which I'm sure just sinks me in further.
You scatter a bunch of it away, and seemingly in its place from the shadow, more draws up, and then as you enlarge, it seems to grow with you and almost seems to be clawing and pulling down at your legs. And it's like this constantly moving, shifting in on itself sand. Roll strength save. You feel it at your knees and then your thighs, and you feel like you're seconds away from being under, and you feel the heat and the roar of the wave of fire behind you, about close, you can't see it, but close to swallowing you. Do you have anything else you want to try to do?
I'm gonna try to pop my wings out. This is a last ditch, more out of the fear, and I think her reaction to fear is to cause fear, and that's almost like more of a gut instinct to her, is if I can make something else more afraid of me, then I don't have as much to fear.
Okay. Roll another charisma check. With advantage.
17.
Okay. You bamf your wings out, and as you do, and they scatter outwards, the sand explodes outwards, and you see it begin to move back in from your periphery, but the ground in front of you is clear.
I have a minute. Alright, I'm gonna run and just see what happens as I run away.
You start running. You were feeling like your skin almost begin to blister from the heat of the wall of fire behind you. But as you run, you feel like you maybe begin to gain ground on it, and you sprint and you run. Your wings almost clattering behind you. 100 feet, 100 yards, 100 miles, you're not sure. Time is impossible to gauge. And you suddenly find yourself, as you do in dreams, without a transition point that makes any sense, stumbling in what seems to be this maze of mirrors, almost, surrounded on all sides by these massive polygonal walls or panes of multicolored crystal or glass, shaped in different ways, fitting into and around each other, almost like stained glass windows.
Like a sphere?
Not a sphere, it's like a maze. They seem to be walls. There's pathways that you see, and the walls, these panes seem to almost buzz slightly with arcana. What do you do?
Do the images look the same in all of them?
They are distorted. There's not clear mirrors. It's like that glass that's textured to where you can't actually see any clear reflection. You mostly just see color, and you see black bits of blonde. It looks like some reflection of you. You see larger black shapes, and they all look relatively similar, but so featureless that it's hard to tell.
I'm gonna take out a dagger and cut my hand, or maybe I'll break one of the mirrors and cut my hand and start running through the maze, and I'm gonna smear blood along the glass as I go so I can see where I've come from, and I'm gonna look specifically for a mirror that isn't... I want to try to find something that isn't distorted.
Okay.
But I want some memory of where I've been.
Okay. You slice, and there's a drip of blood, and you go to swipe it along the walls, and your hand passes through it slightly. You feel a buzz to it, but it doesn't resist. And as it passes through, it's transparent enough you see it on the other side. And it is withered, blackened, this rotted horror of a hand, not yours. And you instinctively yank it back. Your hand looks fine. Not sure what it was.
Pass light and hold that and just kind of I'll cast light on my own hands.
Okay.
Just to kind of get like the image of the darkness and like what that rot was out of my head. And I'll like probably walk 10 or 15 feet away and see if the other mirror does the same thing with the light still on my hands, and see if it has give way or if the mirror, like in pushing through it, kills that light.
You find another push through it, and the light blinks out on the other side. You see your hand looking the same. You pull it back. It's restored, and the light flashes back on. Keep trying to find your way through.
Yeah.
Roll an investigation check.
Um. 24.
24. As you move, couple minutes, 5 minutes, you're not sure, you begin to feel that these panes, these walls are closing in tighter and tighter and tighter until you're sidestepping at some points and you feel bits of your clothes move through and vibrate slightly. You pull away, attempting not to get swallowed by these walls. But with a 24, you find a path, you double back once or twice but recognize immediately where you are, and suddenly stumble out, much like when you stumbled in, without a transition point. And you find yourself on the brink of a massive chasm. You can't see the bottom. You can roll a perception check if you want.
Uh, 17.
You see what you think is the shadow even. You can't even make out shapes or lights or colors, but just a slightly different texture in the shadow far across. You're not sure how far. And you hear again that wall of fire closing in behind you. What do you do?
I want to pull out my lute.
Okay.
And almost like picking at it subconsciously, like nervously. Are the wings still up? It's been a minute, but they're
They
still
are.
up. I want to prestidigitation, and this is a fucking dream. Nothing's real. Nothing makes sense. I want to create using like a combination of prestidigitation and light. Because with prestidigitation I can create an illusory image. And I can have a couple of them going at a time, or a small mark or a color, like a symbol or something, and I want to start creating like feathers of light along the wings and seeing if they'll stick.
Okay.
And just like, this isn't real, it doesn't matter, nothing exists, nothing is real.
Roll a charisma check with advantage.
22.
Okay. You're not sure what time frame. It feels incredibly short because that wall seems to be closing in so fast, but also incredibly long because
And I've probably at this point drawn them up and around my face. And I'm just
You-
looking at them and kind of like painting with my music.
you paint what feels to be a symphony's worth of music into these wings and watch as these little feathers of light until they're entirely filled with these golden beads of light that elongate slightly and seem to hold shape. And you turn as you feel this heat, and the wall is maybe 30 feet closing.
Worst case scenario, we get an Act 3 and I'll jump.
Okay. And I assume attempt to beat your wings.
I don't know how to do that, but I will hold them out as I do that.
Roll a charisma check. I will say actually roll a performance check.
Still playing the lute.
Mhm.
19.
19. You feel, whether it's the wind or just magic, something catch. And you begin to move across, flying, gaining altitude slightly. And the wall of fire is moving into the chasm behind you, stretching outwards, but you stay ahead of it. And then you feel a shiver briefly, and you glance downwards, your eyes drawn not by your own volition. And you see where there was yawning black nothingness, there are now eyes. Hundreds, darkened, vacant, seeking, looking upwards, moving sideways, chaotic. Roll a wisdom save.
Six.
6. You feel your blood run cold as you see this, and that familiar fear set in. And
I think as I feel that, and I feel myself start to like shake and drop, I'm gonna scream in the same way that I do with the discordance and cast that out into the void and just scream, "What do you want with me?"
you almost see the magic reverberate downwards and slam into this almost sea of eyes, and they are scattered. Many of them you see blink out, others you see flying one way or another. They disappear as soon as they hit shadow. They don't seem like actual objects. And then enough of them are scattered in one direction that they seem to shift in the shadow and form into one large eye that's ahead of you, and it just blinks once and then it goes completely black, and the orange glow from behind you goes completely black, and the last bits of the light in your wings blink out, and you just start to fall, and you fall and fall and see nothing until you wake up. And that's where we'll end the session. Leah doesn't see.
Leah doesn't see. She's too
Leah
busy on her
doesn't see.
phone.
Leah doesn't see that it's headphones time because she's sitting there on her cell phone.
Favorite moments?
Oh, we're just there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah!
That
Right
is the
into
end of
it.
the session.
The side effects from
Side
the
effects.
clearly damaged EpiPens.
Mhm.
The side effects are solid.
I enjoy the science.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was good shit.
Mm.
All for the sake of science.
Mhm.
Good shit.
I mean, the end was like equally wonderful and awful, and like, I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agree.
In fact, on that note, if you don't have one, take a charge of DM inspiration for that idea at the end.
Also, watching
Thanks.
people's reactions when I describe the tiefling and the Iron Suns is very fun.
Mm.
Everyone's like, "Hello,"
Yeah.
which there's new
Yeah.
art that I can share after.
Oh.
Oops! Look at that! That's great.
I'll explain more about her after.
Mhm, mhm.
I really enjoyed that whole conversation and the like nerddom that both Remy and Eclipse kind of rubbed onto Sam a
Yeah.
little bit in this episode. Yeah, that was
She's
great. I
always
really liked that.
she's always been a bit of a nerd. Just hasn't really had a wasn't her in her purview.
Mm-hmm. Brian.
No,
Leah.
mine very much was the EpiPens.
Yeah.
EpiPens are great.
Wild that you rolled 2 what would have been divine intervention rolls on those 2
Unfortunately.
Do you
rolls.
not realize who
Say
you're
that,
asking to roll a
Matt.
Yeah, that's a
D100?
fair point. What was I thinking?
Do you
I
really
got
not realize who you are
3.
asking to roll?
Yeah.
This is the same person that had success. She has not had any failed divine interventions, Matt.
Yeah.
That is the easiest way to put it.
You should, Leah, when you ever get there, maybe you should just have Megan roll your divine
Fuck.
interventions.
Yeah, real.
It's broken. This was on the Fey days.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe in the wilds to do that, Megan. It's not gonna work.
Mm.
It's true.
Any from you, Leah? Do you have any others?
I liked the idea of the glyph. I really thought of that like this right before I suggested it. I was just going through spells, and I saw glyph of warding. I was like, oh, actually, that's actually a really smart idea, and I think that'd be fun to do. Because I was already thinking about getting that 200 gold just in case. I mean, that's powder just to
Mhm.
have, just if I needed it. But then, like, when I look back at it again, I was like, oh, this is the time to do it right now. So, and then Megan gave me a really good idea how to make it really cute and funny. So I'm
Oh,
excited to have that play out.
Mhm,
okay.
I
Okay.
don't know what I did.
But here we are.
Yep.
Alrighty. Thank you to everyone else who was not Megan for bearing with that at the end. Um, all right, session 52, a year's worth of sessions in the books. Year 2 begins in the year 2024.
Oh,
Yes.
Wow.
woof.
Wow,
Alright.
wow.
Good game, everybody. Adios.